Welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 74. Woo! Got a little surprise this week. Eric is temporarily back.
Yes.
He was
For this
supposed
week.
to be.
I was supposed to be gone.
So it's going to be 2
Work
weeks in a
fell
row.
through.
Maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4, maybe 5. But somehow he's back now. Probably gone again next week. Might not see him again next month.
For sure next week.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure the week. For sure right now the week after. Yeah. So
Eric's going to be here when he gets here.
yeah.
So it is what it is. How you guys doing? I am here. I am your host, as always, Nathaniel Rufflejans, Mr. Nintendo Prime. And let's go left to right to you guys. So in the middle, we got Mike Odyssey. How's it going, buddy?
What's up?
Yeah, buddy. And then all the way to the right. He's so long. I can't
far
reach.
away.
Wait. There
careful.
it is. Careful now. We got Mr. Eric Moore.
Hey.
Nate, where is your super suit? So I did say I was going to wear my Halloween costume today. Yulia hates the mask so much she won't tell me where she put it. And I checked the trash. She hates it that much.
Dug and buried it in the backyard.
It'll have to appear on some random stream whenever I can find it because I literally don't know where it is. And I spent like 2 hours today trying to find it. She did not want to. What if I tune into your live stream? Well, then don't watch tonight. But I mean, what are you gonna do? So she hates. I don't even think it's a scary mask, but it freaks her out. The naive angel mode stream. So, yes, how you guys doing? We've had a lot happen, I guess, since the last podcast. Obviously, Bayonetta 3 came out, so that's good news there. Bayonetta 3 came out, pretty damn good game, pretty exciting. That game might be coming up in a moment here because we have to start our show the way we start every show with what the hell have we been playing lately?
Cool.
And I'm going to kick it to Eric because I know he's been playing something that he's been waiting.
Oh, hell yeah.
At least, I don't know, 6 months since it was announced anyways.
Right.
A year. I guess it was announced last year.
Yeah.
Eric, what have you been playing lately?
First off, your chair link is broken.
Oh, why is it broken?
I don't know, but I tried clicking on it. It is broken.
Why is it? What?
Yes.
That's the one they gave me.
Nice.
They suck sometimes. Anyways, go on.
Sweet. So, no, I have completed 97% of the first world in Sparks of Hope. It is freaking fantastic. So, I've enjoyed it, and yeah, it's a whole lot of fun right now. I don't quite have enough sparks to clear the one tube.
Lots of fun for everyone.
So, in the first area. Once I get to 12 sparks, going back to the first area, clearing that tube, and I think I'll have 100% on that first area. So, yep, because that's how I play.
Yeah, he's
methodical.
There is something you can't do.
Yeah.
There to later, and that too. I'm gonna warn you right now. I did it live on my launch stream or whatever.
Yeah.
Thinking it was gonna be a joke because I'm going back to World 1 after beating the game. No, no, it's not a joke fight.
Oh, nice.
But yes, you do need that to 100% it. I figured out the link issue, guys, by the way. So just going to update that for a second. While I do that, what are your thoughts, Eric, on the game? Like, just in general. I know you're only
Yeah,
really
no,
doing
it's
World 1 because he's 100%er.
yeah.
Okay? So he's going to 100%
With
everything
this
before he goes
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
As far as I can get. And as far as I can get right now.
Yeah.
No, it's a fantastic game. It's just as good as I thought it was going to be, if not better. Yeah, the sparks add just that extra little bit of interesting combat to things. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed it so far. Only really been able to play it while, at on site this last week here, but yeah, no, it's
only been out 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, so it's and I didn't get it until like 3 days later.
Yay, shipping!
Yeah, right.
Shipping is fun.
Yeah, right.
We all get things on time. Or you could just be Mike over there who got the game for $40.
Yeah.
It turned out it was legit.
Wow.
Got the gold edition.
Right.
Gold edition. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it could be my jeans that I ordered. Friggin' sat at the post office for. They arrived on Friday or Saturday, and I didn't get them delivered till the following Thursday. It sat at the friggin' post office. for that freaking long.
Nice.
I'm like, what in the hell?
Nice.
Seriously, this is dumb.
The post office is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Mike, what have you been playing lately?
I've been hitting Bayonetta.
Yeah, buddy.
What else? I hit the 1% in Mario Sparks of Hope. I played that.
Can't
I
figure out
played
what
it
that 1% is.
Yeah, 1%. I 1%ed it for now. So
Yep.
yeah, I think I said
I
that.
don't even like. Did you even get to World 1? I don't even know if it's possible to get to World 1 and only 1% it.
Well, I made it to that first place where I think you meet the first park or whatever or something, and then that's why I started playing it. Something somewhere, some little world there.
Well, what the hell?
But
Hey, he's been playing Bayonetta 3. Give
No,
him
no,
a
no,
break.
no,
Give
for
him a
sure.
break.
No, no,
Bayonetta
for
3
sure.
is the bomb.
No, I'm just,
Wait a second, hold on. What percent of Bayonetta 3 are we? Is it a 1% in Bayonetta 3 as well?
I've turned it on.
the Bayonetta 3 is a whole different beast. That game is crazy. It's like you start playing it, and you get so immersed into the story. It feels like you're playing a movie, a crazy action movie, because the action starts right away. It doesn't even give you time to think. So when I kind of opened my eyes from the dream of that action movie, I was like, wait, halfway through the game, I'm like, what the heck? How did I get here so fast? But it's because it's that great of a game. It keeps you immersed in the game. There are really no areas where you take a breather. You know what I mean? There's so much action in the game. I love the combat system. It's my first Bayonetta game. I love the voice acting, by the way. It's amazing. So everything great about the game. I'll get back to Mario Sparks of Hope right now. I'm pretty sure I'll get back to it later on. I have it, but just to immerse to Bayonetta right now. So I wanna finish that game. I'm right now thinking about the story and what's gonna happen next. And then what else have I been playing? I'm playing another game that I can't remember right now. Oh, I'm playing on a game that I'm gonna be releasing a sponsored video for. It's a simulator, but it's a fun simulator. Another
What?
simulator, which every simulator is fun.
But Bus Simulator wasn't fun? Is that what you're trying to say?
It was very fun actually, because it's up to the player.
You even flipped your bus.
I still play Bus Simulator with my daughter. It's hilarious. We got bus.
You flipped your bus?
In this video, yeah.
Nice.
It's multiplayer, so you can make it like a room and then kind of, but I'm actually having a video pretty soon. It's called Police Simulator. I'm excited about this one. It's fun. So
No. I'm not even going to say anything. You got to be dangerous about simulating police officers.
Yeah.
But it's this one looks very fun. Yeah, Police Simulator is really fun. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that one. I even have I'm not gonna foil. There's a version of Mike who's gonna be playing that game soon. So if you I don't think you guys want to miss that. It's a multiverse Mike kind of thing.
It's been a little bit. Nice.
Been a while.
Nice.
Been a while.
What are your thoughts on the Bayonetta 3, man?
Man, dude, I'm telling you, Bayonetta, that game is amazing. I mean, I haven't had so much fun in a game since I think Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I haven't had so much fun.
Well,
did not see that coming.
Yeah, since Breath of the Wild. I love that game. I truly love the game. I didn't know I was gonna like it that much, And I'm like, I remember when I was on the screen, I'm like, would you like to play Angel mode? Angel mode?
Not even Angel mode or normal.
Yeah, whatever. No, not Angel mode. I'm gonna play it, and there's nothing. It doesn't really show.
It's not even that bad. Like, there's the one scene where like the guy's smoking a cigarette, and if not Angel mode is on, the cigarette turns into a donut, and I'm like, what? Like, this is Bayonetta. Like, I don't understand why people make such a big deal out of it, because like she's never I mean, she is nude, but you never see anything.
No, you don't.
So it's weird.
You
I mean,
I
unless you like butt cheeks, you see butt cheeks, I suppose. There's that. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, tight pants. That's it. But that's it.
It's like, have you ever seen anybody wear leggings anywhere? It's. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Listen, you can have the friendliest Instagram page. If you hit the wrong button, forget it. Instagram. That's Instagram. You know?
That's Instagram.
But Bayonetta, man, that game is amazing. Crazy. It's crazy.
I am shocked.
I love it.
I heard, through the grapevine, you were having a little fun with the game, and I'm like, oh boy. I
Yeah,
did
man.
not see that as a Mike Odyssey game, and now.
But the thing is that there's really nothing bad about the game. I don't really see anything that's like controversial, or it's just a really fun action game. It's like watching a movie, and every movie there's gonna be its little parts there, here, and there. I'm not gonna play it on my channel, because I'm not sure if my audience is gonna take that. But I love the game. It's pretty good. I actually want to go back and play the first two after I finish this one to see. I just want to see how it compares, because this one is just crazy good.
Yeah, the whole series is pretty good. I'll warn you, the Bayonetta 1 and 2 is a little bit more naughty, but it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad. I mean, it's all about it's all about the themes, angels versus demons, and blah blah blah. Just a bunch of made up stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Man, I just love the giant summons.
Dude,
those things are
seriously, dude, it's insane.
Oh man.
You can't really use it all the time. You just have to kind of wait for her to relax and to recover her energy and then.
So you haven't played 1 and 2, but they really changed up how the combat works in 3 a lot. Most people think it's a pretty positive change. So I don't like you haven't played the first 2. You haven't played the first 2 to compare it, but I'm sure you'll get around to them eventually once you're done with 3. Because they're already on Switch.
I think I know enough about how they went about this game in order to make it sort of like a spin-off, but it's not. It is Bayonetta 3, but it's a different Bayonetta than 1 and 2. So it's technically Bayonetta 1 of the remake. Bayonetta, if you know what I'm talking about. It's like it feels right because the story. I'm not gonna tell the story. I'll just the story, Nate.
Yeah.
But the story is so interesting that I'm playing with the new Bayonetta. That's cool. So basically the Bayonetta 1 and 2 are not the same one. It's just different place, different time, different whatever. So it makes you feel like for the first time playing Bayonetta that you're not really missing a lot. It kind of does a good job at putting you in place so that you understand what's going on and know who the characters are. But it actually feels like it's the first game of this brand new Bayonetta. They did a really good job, and I understand why they wanted to bring back Helena Taylor for that little cameo. And now I'm actually really intrigued at what that cameo would have been, and if they still left that part in the game and used somebody else to voice that part. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So interesting.
So I played Bayonetta 3. I didn't get it day 1, guys. I had a paycheck days didn't line up, but I did get it Monday, and it's I'm having a good time so far. Mike might be a little further in. I'm not sure, but I'm having a lot of fun. I have very little complaints. I know a lot of people tried telling me, because of the frame rate drops or this and that, and I'm like, look. Yes, they're there. They exist. And I notice a stutter here and there. But I'm too busy having fun to care. And that's really all that really matters to me. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild had frame rate problems too. I mean, everyone knows the Lost Woods. Kakariko Village at launch was a nightmare. And the game's still my favorite game of all time. So sometimes you can make up for some of the performance hiccups by just delivering an amazingly fun experience, and I feel like they did that. It would have been nice if they could have hit a lock 60, of course, and I feel like maybe they needed to try a different engine, or maybe they needed to try different techniques that that they didn't seem to implement in this game. But you know what? I'm glad it exists. It is one of the best games to come out this year, at least seemingly so far, from what I've played. So I'm really excited about that. And is this a record? Is this the first week all 3 of us play games?
Oh, no.
Ever?
No.
I'm just kidding.
But
I'm mostly looking at Eric. I'm like, Eric, you're usually the one on the outside. But every now and then I am too. Every now and then Mike is. Anyway, no.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. Because it's an exciting time of year. It's when like a lot of the big name games are dropping.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then Zelda's like, May. Just so you know, May.
And you can't get here
Everyone's
soon
playing
enough.
Zelda in May. So
In a way, I'm happy that they pushed Breath of the Wild to the tears of Link.
Tears
To
of the Kingdom.
I know. They pushed it because I think it made us enjoy more of the games that are coming out now. Kind of focus on what it's not, because I think, to me, Tears of the Kingdom is such a big game that I feel like I would have just bought that game and not bought Bayonetta. I would have just been immersed just in Tears of the Kingdom, and that's it. Forget about Mario plus Rabbids. Forget about everything else. But the fact that they pushed that game forward, made me pay attention to these other games, and I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself playing these other games too. So I feel like, to me, that was a good move, and maybe that was the reason why they did it. Maybe they didn't want to overshadow all these games that were coming out. Right now we have Pokemon.
Well, I mean, it's like variety is like the spice of life, right? Like we get like an XCOM style Mario plus Rabbids game, then we got this high hardcore action M-rated Bayonetta game. Now we got Sonic Frontiers coming in a week. So we get some action, gotta go fast action there from Sonic, and then we come back again with Pokemon, and then we have Fire Emblem Engage, so we're getting back into tactical strategy games in January. Then Kirby decides we're just going to remake one of the best Kirby games ever from Wii. They're going to throw that back out in February, and then bam, somewhere between there, we'll probably get Advance Wars coming out, and then Zelda dropping in May. It's just a really nice variety of games in, I don't know, a 7 to 8 month span, and I think that's just incredible. And this is something I pointed out in a video about a week ago, was that it's incredible to me how little credit Nintendo seems to be getting, specifically this generation. It's been true every generation, but it didn't feel like it because they were split between two devices. But now that all their games go to one device, I mean, they're releasing more exclusive content, either through partners or in-house created, every year than PlayStation and Xbox combined. And that's just insane. That's insane. Like I don't even know how to process that. And we're not talking like, just a sports game. Here's your Mario Strikers. No, we got one of the best Kirby games of all time this year. We already got a big mainline Pokemon game this year, and we're getting another one. That's crazy. It's been a crazy year, and it feels like this is the case every year. Even the down years on Switch. Oh, this is a down year. We only had 4 or 5 exclusive games this year instead of 8 to 10. It's like, yeah, and Xbox had 0 this year. But we're complaining about a down year where we got 4 to 5.
Who's complaining? Who's complaining about this year?
Not so much this year. I think we saw some complaints in 2020 because we had kind of a. Although the thing is, like, yeah, okay, we had Animal Crossing, but then guys, they also dropped Paper Mario in the middle of the summer, and we got Age of Calamity and Super Mario 3D All-Star. 4 games. Oh my gosh. In the middle of a pandemic, they still release more exclusives than everybody else. What? I don't even know what we're complaining about anymore. Like,
Even if they just went Animal Crossing in 2020, I think that would have been a successful year because of Animal Crossing. How much
just that game alone, sure.
Get through whatever they got through, So,
but
I mean,
it's incredible. We are spoiled, and I don't think that look, I'm not saying Nintendo's perfect. Gosh knows I have slammed them for many dumb decisions they've done, many anti-consumer practices, but also, and in fact, today one of our lead headline topics, as you can tell, Nintendo doesn't value content creators. There's going to be probably a little negativity in there, but it comes from, a good place. And it comes from a place of wanting things to get better. But when it comes to game releases, I don't have any complaints. I understand not everyone's into every game. But man, is there a wide variety of content every year. And you can only get it here. Or, I mean, I guess if you want to be a bum, you can just, emulate it. Nintendo, please don't take on my channel for mentioning it's an option. I mean, it's a thing people do.
We don't condone it.
You do. You know what? If you're doing it legally,
we don't endorse it. We don't endorse it.
If you're doing it legally, I don't have a problem. You know, you have a modded Switch. You're buying the games. You're dumping them. You're doing it all legal. Hey, cool, man. Ain't got a problem with you. It's the people that don't buy the games and don't support the developers, and then it's just stealing at that point.
I really, you know, and I mean, maybe I'm alone in this train of thought. You mentioned emulator, and let's just be honest here. 95.5% of people who download emulators download the games illegally. And let's just say how it is, because sometimes, like, you know, how are we jumping over this topic or jumping over without being? It's true. Emulators invite people to download games. There's so many websites, download ROMs and this and that. You download games. If you download emulators, there's a chance that you're not gonna, you know, there's a game right there right in front of you. You want to play it. It's there. Don't tell me you're not gonna hit download and load that emulator up and play it. Come on. You know, I feel like if emulator creators were really serious about their emulators and really wanted to do things the right way and the legal way, they would put some hurdles in the way so that downloaded games wouldn't be played on that emulator. That's some kind of block on it. But the thing is that the majority of people who download emulators, let's just be honest here. You know what I mean? That's why that's why I say, oh, emulators is a gray area. There's no such thing as a gray area. There's either black or there's white. You know, there's day or there's night. You know, there's either hot
dusk
or
and
there's
dawn.
cold.
I'm gonna quote what every person who does emulating legally is gonna say right now. Prove it. You're throwing out a statistic you can't prove.
I don't have to prove anything. I mean, that's
well,
just
you made an accusation that you can't prove.
But I'm saying it's human nature. People do things sometimes just because they're tempted to do things. There's temptation in the world. People fall for it. They do it a lot. It's like with everything. And I'm just being honest. You know, it's not an accusation. It's just completely pure honesty, because whenever we talk about emulation, I feel like, I know what I'm saying. If you're talking about emulation, you know that 95% of the people who listen to you about emulation, they're downloading games. You know, they're doing it illegally because that's what it is. You know what I mean? And I can hit a dart, trust me, and I'm gonna hit a bullseye. It doesn't matter because the bullseye is huge. It's huge. You know? So I'm like, okay, I'm not against the emulator software. I'm
it's legal.
It being so open that you can actually do that, because there should be something placed in the software that shouldn't allow you to do illegal things with it. You know what I mean?
How do you put something in the software to block playing ROMs when you dump your own game? It's a ROM.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you dump your own game, there's a process and there's a license that's attached to it. There's something attached to it.
But they can't do license verification because that's copyrighted to Nintendo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That if emulators want to be,
they're legal. Emulators don't have to worry about what they're doing.
I'm saying they're legal, but if they want to really not be looked upon that way, they should find a way to make it work. I mean, it's technology, it's coding. You know, everything advances every single day. You can't tell me that one day there won't be an emulator.
You realize that hackers are way more advanced than anything that.
Yeah, hackers are going to make it a non-problem anyways.
Always going to be ahead of the coders. Always.
Then pay the hackers to do the right thing. You know what I mean? I mean, if money runs the world,
you do realize that illegal activities generally tends to pay way more than than legal activities.
Nintendo was offering $10,000 to hackers to find bugs in their software during the Wii U era. And one of the persons that found a bug that reported it got his $10K from Nintendo, found another bug. Decided to release it to a Patreon community and ended up making over $50K, which is more than what Nintendo's offering. Like, it's one of those. There's actually more incentive to not.
Oh yeah,
but I agree. $10,000 is nothing. You know, I think that people out there who are smart enough to find these things should be rewarded handsomely. You know what I mean? Because they are saving money. If they do the right thing, they will be saving millions of dollars for companies like Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation.
Like
you
you
know what I
also-
mean?
like you think at the moment, all Switch game ROMs that end up on the internet come from those first generation Switches, and it really wasn't Nintendo's fault. It wasn't a software problem. It was a hardware issue, and it's on Nvidia. There was a hardware issue that allowed them to boot by jumping pins, and that they fixed it with the Switch Lite and the Switch version 2 and everything. But it was one of those. I mean, you can call it hacking. It's really not a complicated hack. Cross a couple pins and you can boot into the base OS and just into the BIOS and it was a bad oversight by Nvidia. I'm sure Nintendo wasn't happy with Nvidia about it because literally all of the Switch games leaking early are thanks to that.
Yeah.
Because no one is actually, as far as I'm aware, I paid attention to the hacking community. No one's actually hacked a Switch OLED and got to dump games off it, or a version 2 Switch, or a Switch Lite because they don't even care. Just find a version 1. It's so easy to do.
Yeah. No, and the other thing too is you got to also remember that there are people out there that just absolutely hate big corporations and will do anything to just say fuck you and
There's not much you can do about those people.
So,
But the whole reason that I tiptoe around, it's a very interesting topic. I didn't plan to talk about it today. Is that for me personally, I know so many people that do it legally versus the people that do it illegally that I'm not going to go out there and throw numbers and presumptions. I don't even think the community is that big in the first place. I've been to the hacking forums. I've been to the places. Their communities aren't that large. And so if a lot of the people I know in those communities are already doing it legally, I think the illegal aspects are... By the way, this isn't me saying people don't download ROMs. I know that some people will download them but still buy the games because they don't want to go through the hassle of dumping it themselves. And then people say it's a moral gray area because you do own the game. You did give them your money. You're just simplifying the process for yourself. Look, this is why I like when you say black and white. I don't know that it's black and white. It's black and white when it comes to legalities. You download a ROM, it's illegal. Also, you probably will never get in trouble for it. So... they don't really enforce that part. They go after the distribution. They don't go after the downloading. They tried to go after the downloading at one point, and then they realized it's just people are using VPNs, and they're just making it way too hard to track any of the downloading these days anyways. But
I kind of understand, too, because I can't really give all the blame to people who download illegally, okay? So not all the blame goes to them. I think some of the blame can go to a major corporation just like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, because they should make it easier for these games to be acquired. They should just not.
Yeah, the old games. Yeah, the old games are.
Yeah. They should, for example, just make it as hard as possible for something illegal to even exist. Why are we getting Nintendo Online? I know they have over 100 games in the NES, but why not just dump all the games out there and give us a good service, a good enough service that we can just say, you know what, I don't have to go to this website. I can just pick up my Switch.
Well,
and
there's a lot of licensing agreements. There's a lot of the fact that NSO people, some people just hate it because you don't own your games. Flat out, you don't own your games. People don't like the idea that if I don't pay a fee per month, I can't access a game I own. This doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and that's why I say that it should be easier to acquire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I like Stadia. When
Nintendo's done a very bad job of this.
I signed up for Stadia, and I like Stadia at the beginning because I signed up for the for their I think it was like $8 a month, right? And then every month they added free games that you actually owned. If you claimed them, you actually still owned even after you stopped paying them. They were still your games. You can go on Stadia and play them.
Absolutely.
Those free games, they kept adding free games, and you just have to whoever was paying monthly had to actually buy them with whatever they cost. But whoever was signed up for the program could just claim the game, and you automatically own that game. Then once I remember I stopped paying for it, and then I went back to Stadia, I still had all that library of games that I claimed while I was still under service. So it's something we can learn from Stadia, even though it's that, is that, you know what I mean? We could kind of, I don't know, just there are solutions that I feel like they're easier to obtain, but they're just not sure why they're not going there for the fans. You know, there's a lot of questions out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nintendo's just been one of the worst companies at with their own game preservation. It's been
Yeah.
it's been kind of a hot mess.
Which
you
is
know.
sad because they have a lot
Xbox
of
has
really,
backwards
really,
compatibility
really good
down
games.
to the OG. You know, Sony's now trying to offer a lot of stuff, and Nintendo's got this vast library, and they don't even have all their own games they control ever released. Like it's just I don't understand it. So that's why I said it's because to me it's always a bit of a gray area because one, I don't know who's doing it illegally and not, and then there's the moral gray area of hey, like if this game was never re-released and it's impossible to buy, or the only way to get it is to buy secondhand hardware that's maybe been repaired and then buying a $500 copy of a game secondhand, that the money's not going to Nintendo either way. So like,
Right.
that's why I'm kind of like, you know, it's nice to say the world is black and white, but I'm not so sure that I feel there's a lot of gray, and emulation is one of those areas that there is a lot of gray. Now, there is certain black and white with emulation. As an example, the billions of Android devices that you can buy off Amazon that are just preloaded with like 3,000 ROMs. Yeah, okay, yeah, those shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Why Amazon's allowing them to be sold when they're blatantly illegal is beyond me. And these big corporations aren't being held to task for allowing these things to be sold. But
you can't really claim
those are the things
you
that
can't
I'm
really
kind of
claim
like
to hate emulation if you aren't trying to actively prevent those from happening.
yeah.
You know.
So like, look, I'm cool with people want to emulate. Doesn't really bother me. As long as the games I want to play are being made and I'm enjoying them, I'm generally good. And hopefully the games that other people want to be made are selling well enough that they can continue to do well. Like I hope Bayonetta 3 sells well enough that we get a Bayonetta 4. Because it sounds like from Kamiya, Bayonetta 2 did not sell well enough for this game to exist. And Nintendo funded it anyways. Maybe they were hoping that, it was just because of the Wii U, you know, we got to give it a real shot on a popular platform. I'm hoping that's what Nintendo was thinking. Either way, I hope Bayonetta 3 did well enough to get a fourth. By the way, we do have an active bet on opening week sales for Bayonetta 3. I don't know if Mike remembers. Yes, we have an active bet right now. We don't have the numbers yet, so so we don't get to go over the bets right now because we got to get the numbers first. We'll get some that we'll have the Japanese numbers for sure this week. We'll see. Nintendo also has a financial briefing coming up. They might mention the numbers, even though these numbers fall outside of that briefing. Usually they'll mention launch numbers of recent games. So we'll see if Nintendo brings it up themselves. Or Platinum. Sometimes there'll be a Twitter post that'll go up if they're like, fastest selling, blah, blah, blah.
Well, my Nintendo news says that Bayonetta right now is very marginally bigger than Bayonetta 2 on Switch.
It's in the UK.
Yeah, but that's in the UK.
Just the UK.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I was
So people are going to try to go back and figure those numbers. We'll have the Japanese numbers.
And that was all physical.
MPD we're not going to get for a month. So and even then, people got to do math gymnastics to figure out what the numbers even mean through there because they don't give us numbers in the MPD anymore. Bastards.
Dude, now I was reflecting today, reflecting on this year, man, because we were talking about how successful, how Nintendo has really kept up with feeding their crowd, their people. You know, we've had a great year. You know, now that we're coming to the end of 2022 when it comes to game releases, we have one more technically first party game, Pokemon. That was it for Nintendo. You know, and then we got Sega, of course, with Sonic. But when it comes to kind of first party games, we've had a great year. And you know, it made me reflect on it. It's wow. I'm happy to have one of the to represent one of the best companies when it comes to keeping up with games and with, you know, every single year giving us a plethora of just great overall games. I mean, a couple of months ago, you know, we had a really great Kirby game in the Forgotten Land, you know, and then we started this year with Pokemon, man. I mean, this Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you know, I mean, anyway, this game was just an amazing game. We've had it this year, provided by Nintendo, and we're at the end now of 2022. I'm just so grateful, man. It's been such a great year when it comes to games. I haven't played them all. I still haven't purchased Mario Strikers. I'm going to. I know it looks like a great game.
Mario Strikers, Splatoon 3.
Yeah, Splatoon 3, I got it. You know, but what a great year, man. What a great year. What a great year for fans of Nintendo and almost every genre when it comes to platforming, sports, simulation, whatever. You know, it's been a great year. We can't really complain as Nintendo fans. So I'm like I'm on the same boat with you, Nate, when it comes to that, because for real, it's been a good year. I'm looking forward to 2023 just because of this year. I want to see what Nintendo comes up with next.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, Nintendo has been delivering the goods, and I hope they continue to do so. I know Nintendo
Yeah.
has usually milked a system until it's dry, and then they don't release anything on it, and then they get the next system ready to go, and then it just becomes a nightmare. But that was Nintendo of the past. We don't know what
Yeah.
Shintaro Furukawa's Nintendo is going to do. So we'll,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we have no idea because everything that Nintendo's currently doing was in motion before he took over. So it's more of a,
Interesting.
we don't know how they're going to transition. We don't know if they're going to have a game drought because they're going to save everything for the new system. We don't even know
That's
if the
true.
new system will be a new Switch. It could be something else. We don't know when the release timing of any of this stuff is. There's a new man in charge who, all we know about him is he used to be an accountant.
Business.
So he's a business guy. He
Yeah.
looks at numbers. What kind of
I mean,
decisions he makes off those numbers, we have no idea.
We can say something about businessman is that they always want to go the safe route rather than take risk because they want to make sure that they continue generating. So I mean that's at least a good thing that if we do get another console, it's not too far out there that it's gonna flop. It's gonna not drive people away. What the heck is this? So I mean that's
I don't know,
just
man.
at
Switch
least-
U is coming. Look out.
Speaking by experience when it comes to having CEOs like that, because Tim Cook is like that. He's a money person. He's not a creative person like Steve
Like
Jobs was.
Steve
He's
Jobs
not a
was,
creative
yeah.
genius. It's all about the numbers. It's about consistency. That's why we've had the same exact looking phone for this. For you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Just
very minor change.
And then how many
But then again-
generations of the notch did we have before they decided, let's make it a bubble now, and it does other
right? But then again, it's the first $1 trillion company. Now we have 2 trillions, which is mind-boggling. But I mean, that's the advantages of having maybe somebody that's focused on money. That they're not gonna go wild. That just like you said in the fiscal meeting, he's looking for a way to transition without without hitting that cliff. Hopefully, like you said, Nate, hopefully we don't get to that cliff and we can have 2 consoles going. We have the next gen console and the current gen console side by side for a little bit until the current console fades away a little bit, without hitting that cliff and the constant stream of revenue continues, But I think 2023 is going to be a year to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
Joshi
see.
says the Switch NX.
We'll see. We'll see. Also, this is a big month for our channels.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple things for you. You introduced a new system to your channel that you're going to be covering.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We'll talk about
yeah.
that quick.
Yeah, let me go get it. Show you guys.
Sure.
Nice.
Nice. The other thing that both of our channels have going for us is we have both partnered with Ewin Racing. They are doing monthly sponsorships. So yay, Ewin! This is actually a brand new chair they sent us. That's one of the chairs that Eric has that we got 2 years ago from him. And we've been using their chairs for a couple of years. Eric bought one a couple of years ago. Love these chairs. They're awesome. They're affordable. They're all over the place, like in terms of cheap end from like $230 for certain ones, all the way up to this one. This is their premium XL chair. It's meant for big boys. You can get these chairs and stuff like that. Since we're on my channel, we'll say you could use my link that's pinned in my discount code Nintendo Prime to get 20% off, which, by the way, I need to remind you guys, there's a Halloween sale still going on, and the 20% stacks with their sales.
Yeah.
So if you get like a chair that's like, oh, it's like 30% off, add the 20, it's 50. Just saying.
And I want to say thank you to those. There are a couple people in the chat who approached me and asked me for the code. Thank you so much for supporting. This is awesome. This is awesome for Nate and for I because we're excited about this. We're entering deals that we've never had before, and it's super exciting for both of our channels to be entering into a new territory.
Yep.
And we're just happy. And none of this would have happened without your support. Having you guys support the channel and just standing by our side. people see that, companies see that. We have a great following. We have good people following us, and they read the comments, they see the interaction, and then they just say, hey, we want to work with this creator because look at the crowd they have, look at the community they're developing in, and I mean, so thank you.
It looks like they've now switched to their Thanksgiving Day.
Have they switched? Earlier today it was still Halloween.
15% off of $229 plus or 20% off $359 plus.
There you go.
So
and you can use my discount code Nintendo Prime, capital N, capital P, no spaces. You guys can see it in the pinned comment or in the description. You can get an extra 20% off. Use our link. That just helps them track who's clicking our link, who's visiting, and so they have an idea of how many people are interested in chairs. And then obviously they'll track if you end up buying one. We on my channel, anyways, we have a 20 chair goal for the month of November. If we can hit 20 chairs, they're going to up our deal, which is awesome. Obviously, these companies coming into the sport is what enables me to do this kind of stuff full time. Hopefully, we got some other long-term partners coming as well down the line. I know Mike's got one coming when he's not announcing it yet. He mentioned it in a video today, so he'll talk about that when the time is due for that. And hopefully, I have another one too. Maybe we'll see. But thank you so much to Ewin Racing for believing in our channels and supporting us. I know there's a bit rough conversation I've had with Ewin in the past. It turned out it was just the person I was talking to. It wasn't the company on the whole. I had a nice conversation with them about those interactions, and they dug up the emails and they were shocked. So I hope the person didn't lose their job, but it was not clearly I was not talking to the right people.
Right.
And that happens sometimes. Sometimes it's all about who you're talking to. And thank you so much to my new contacts I have at D1 Racing. You guys are awesome and amazing. And yes, I love their products.
I gotta say, I'm sorry, but I have to say this because, man, what have I been sitting on for the past 2 years? I cannot believe what I've been sitting on
for the
past years. Literally, guys, let me be honest with you. I'm gonna confess. After I made every video, and for those of you who don't know, I worked. My office is right here. I work on a chair. When I get up, I had the most horrible pain. I'm like, I made the old people noises every time I got up from my chair, and my butt was always asleep every time I got from my chair. And I'm like, I put this Ewing chair right there. I put it together. And I sit down on it, and I could not believe it, man. I'm like, what in the world is this? What heavenly place am I sitting on right now? What cloud is this? Like, what in the world? I'm like, what? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just.
It was insane when we put ours together, and then we sat down on them, and it's like,
well, we were using
way different.
Well, 2 years ago we were using whatever cheap crap we got at Walmart.
Like, $30 chairs from Walmart.
And we were like, okay, so we're doing this thing. We have this whole E3 extravaganza coming. We're going to be sitting in these things now, not just for a podcast where our butts hurt. Now we're in it for like 12-hour days. I would really like to get a chair sponsor, and I reached out to a bunch of companies and got a number of responses. But because of Game Over Jesse, he really pushed me to be like, hey, you should really try Ewin. I've been using them for a while, and I like their stuff. And I said, all right, cool. So I'll try them out. I convinced them to send us 2 chairs. That was a leap of faith on their part because they were only willing to do one. And I said, hey, we're really only interested if you could do 2 because I'm not punishing Eric or myself having to sit in a crappy chair. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, this is a live show. I told them exactly what it's for. That's why I want 2. If you can't do it, we're going to have to go with somebody else. And so they came through in the clutch, and my Lord, did it make a huge difference.
Oh, God, yeah.
So much so that Eric literally bought one like the next day.
Yeah.
It was such a big difference. And obviously I didn't have to buy any because I had these 2, and now I got this third one here. So, and I guess one of the things I like since I've been using them for so long is you guys know that I've advertised, the Herman Miller chair last month. And absolutely, Herman Miller chairs are amazing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that the Herman Miller chairs suck ass. But they're $1,000. $2,000 for their even nicer ones. And if we're honest, that's a little out of most people's price range. These chairs are more affordable, right? $230 up to $450. Plus, they're always doing these discounts. Right now, they got a sale going on. Plus, our 20% off codes that'll be good forever. to always get 20% off. And they're really good for long sessions. They're good for short sessions. And one thing these chairs do, Eric can demonstrate this better because I haven't broke my chair in enough yet. Basically, this chair is meant for a 500-pounder. I'm not 500 pounds. So trying to lay back in it, it's got a bit more strength because it's meant for a 500-pounder. But the one thing about the Herman Miller chair, I'm looking at one of my Herman Miller chairs.
Rest of the podcast.
I can only lean back like this. It's as far back as I can go. You can like lay down and fall asleep in these chairs.
Look at him.
Look at him go. Can your chair do this? Eric's can. He's literally laying flat right now.
I'm past flat. I am actually past flat.
He's past flat. You can crack your back with an Ewin racing chair. Can you get back up? Okay, you got it. You got it. You just got to pull the lever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Holy crap.
But yes, it is awesome the amount of recline you can get. And they're so they're just comfortable. They come with they come with the back pillows. Some people like them, some people don't. You can adjust them. They move up and down. And the head pillows again. They give you different ways for comfort. Like I'm using the back pillow right now, and the one thing I like about the back pillow when I'm doing these live shows is it's forcing me to sit up straight.
I don't have them. I have to admit, I don't have the back pillows. I'm lazy. I'm like,
no. I will say this: when I'm sitting at my desk all day, I remove the back pillow. But when I'm in the podcast, I like it because it ups my posture. I noticed in my last video, I was sitting in the chair Eric is, and he doesn't have the back pillow on, which is totally fine because that's the way he likes it. No,
the lower one,
the lumbar one, pillow. And I noticed you could see I'm slouching, and I noticed it when I was editing. Holy crud, I'm slouching bad. And now that I'm sitting in this, I can already tell just looking at the feed right here. I'm sitting up straight. So it's actually better for my posture, even if it feels really weird because I've been slouching my whole life. So
and guys, this honestly for me, this is not a plug. This is real. This is completely real. Like I was sitting on metal, like compared to what I'm sitting now. It's metal.
One of those folding chairs? Metal. Those cheap ones that they bust out at the churches?
It literally felt like that. Like the ones you open like that. Mm-hmm. Man, it's crazy. It's like I can fall asleep in this chair.
This infomercial is good. Hey, look, I don't think you guys understand how appreciative I am of Ewin Racing. They are the first company to sign a long-term deal with me to pay a monthly amount to the channel to support what I do, help me do this full time, and in exchange, get to talk about amazing products. Yeah, Ewin Racing is going to get talked about a lot on my channel. I'm going to try to make it not obtrusive. We're not going to be going this in-depth every damn podcast. It'll be like a little quick mention. Hey, if you guys looking for shares, Ewin Racing, link, move on.
Lean out of the way for a second.
You know, like there's something like I have to do like 8 ad spots per month and then 10 mentions. Yeah, the mentions are literally, oh, you guys need a new chair. Ewin Racing, link down in the description, 20% off, 10%. Done. It's like literally like a 10-second thing done. Versus the minute ad that I did today in my video. So I'm just, look, if a company believes in me this much, it makes me smile.
Right, especially when their products are good.
Yeah. One reason, because I legitimately had offers from 2 other chair companies. But I wanted to work with Ewin because one of the chair companies, I already didn't like their product because I had one, Maxonomic. And the other company, I don't know because I haven't tried their products. And I was willing to try it, but I talked to some other people who had them that said they weren't really liking them that much. And I was like, well, that's your opinion. I have no idea. And then when Ewin finally responded, and I was like, yes, because I actually use your products every day, like every day. Yes.
Right.
Like I know you guys were seeing over like the last week, as we're seeing the Herman Miller chair sitting here. What chair do you think I was actually spending most of my time in at my desk? It was my white Ewin chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful that they also trusted, my little channel. They and gave us a long-term deal just to represent them, and I'm glad I did because it's awesome. I mean, we can all go like this and kind of go to the side, all 3 at the same time, and we can see the the logos and the chair. I mean, this is a gaming chair. This is the gaming chair.
Yeah, man. And I finally, guys. I wanted the white and the black so they were neutral and I had the blue wall going. But when I'm on this side of the room, there's no blue. So I can actually rock the Nintendo Prime Color chair.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So I'm excited to have a blue chair over here now. All right, that being said.
So Mike's got a new thing that
a
he's
new
promoting.
console, a new
Oh
console.
yeah. New system that he's adding to his news coverage.
Yeah, I mean, I did the announcement. I'm in the research right now because I can't talk about something I don't really know that
Yeah,
much.
you gotta dive deep.
So
Gotta dive deep.
yeah, I'm actually basically learning a lot from it. And here it is, guys. Here it is. This is it. This is the Steam Deck.
Oh, nice.
That is it. That is a Steam Deck. You see it?
Yeah.
You see the Steam Deck?
I see a Switch OLED
Yeah.
with some Hori joypad. You trying to test me there for a second? I'm like, those look like Hori joypads right now, and that is definitely a Switch
Also,
OLED.
when he went sideways with the Switch logo on the back.
I sat there. I was like, okay, buddy. I always pulling the rug from under us.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're the same size when you put the Hori thingies on them.
Is that why you did it? Because you're like, oh, let me show you that I can make it the same size.
Yeah, they're the same size. The Switch is so much smaller. Not really. It's a Joy-Con. The Joy-Cons are just smaller. But if you put the Hori pads on them, it makes the Switch actually bigger. The Steam Deck is a little fatter, has more guts in it.
Yeah.
But
it's a more powerful system. So.
you can't even see it. This is let me put this. Let me make it this way.
It's so huge. It's huge.
Look at that. Yeah, this is the Steam Deck. This is the new console that I've been studying for the last couple of days. I love that I can use it as a PC, as a Linux PC. And just have it docked. I have the dock right here.
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri's yelling at you.
You're not sure she understands. But yeah.
So I have a question for you. Can we
Yeah.
really call it a dock if you have to stretch a cord and plug it in on the top?
No, that's exactly what I'm like. Wait a second. Where's the thing here? Like,
there's no USB-C port on the bottom of it. That's why.
no, this is a stand. It's a stand with the cord,
Yeah.
and you have to plug it in through the top like this.
Yeah.
This is
It's a dongle with a built-in stand, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing I
so-
was disappointed when the official one came out. I'm like, really? They couldn't find a way to make it like a real dock.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
But what I'm excited about this is that I can see the possibility of Nintendo building a more powerful console.
Sure.
Because I don't care if their most powerful console is this big. Okay, pretend you can remove these controllers or Joy-Cons. It's basically the same thing. It could be just as big and as heavy, and I don't really care as long as it's powerful. You know what I mean? But it's just I felt like it's the closest thing that you have out there that you can compare to the Switch right now. I know there's a whole bunch of other ones.
Yeah,
but that's what got me excited. To and it kind of makes sense to maybe cover part of this. But the thing is that the way that I'm going to cover the Steam Deck is not like every other channel where they're trying to prove that it's a better console than any other or better console than the Switch or whatever. I'm not gonna cover it this way. I'm gonna cover in a way that speaks to the strengths of both consoles. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Of what both consoles can do and how they complement each other and what one inspires the other one to be. Hopefully. But yeah, I mean, I'm having fun. It's huge.
I'm too ghetto. You can use wireless controllers with the Steam Deck. Yes.
You can. It's compatible with every single wireless controller, including Joy-Cons and the Pro controllers, Xbox, PlayStation controllers. It's compatible with every controller. By the way, you dock it, you can play like that, just like a PlayStation 4. I think it has the same, right? Same power as a PS4.
Probably.
When it comes to the yeah.
Cool. Let's get into at least our lead topic today. So, I don't know how many of you guys watch other Nintendo podcasts out there. It's okay if you don't. I mean, you should at least check out Mike's when he posts it. But, I mean, besides that, it's okay if you don't watch any others. But there's another, obviously significantly more popular Nintendo podcast out there called the Nintendo Podcast with Beat 'em Ups and Wolf Den. And they do a good job with their own little spin. It's basically just the two of them kicking it, shooting the crap about their lives and their experiences with Nintendo and games in general.
Nice.
Yeah, it's chill. But on a recent episode, they had Kit and Krista on there. For those who don't know, another pretty popular Nintendo podcast. They're former Nintendo employees, did Nintendo Minute. That wasn't all they did at Nintendo, by the way. I know that a lot of us only knew them as that, but they worked at, Nintendo Treehouse. They did a number of different roles at the company. And one thing Wood wanted to know was why the heck he got kicked off the partner program, because he made a big deal about this a couple years back because he felt like his channel's super family friendly, and he really wasn't sure why one of the largest Nintendo YouTubers would suddenly not be part of the partner program. Now, the partner program, in Wood said at the time, didn't really do much. You would just occasionally get games the day of launch, and that was pretty much it. But being able to say that you're an official Nintendo ambassador, that it seems like Nintendo actually cares about you, even if it's just free games at launch, is just kind of that special feeling like, hey, you know what? I did something with my career where Nintendo recognizes me, and yeah, it might not be something I need anymore because I'm such a big channel, but it is nice that, hey, I can give away these codes on launch day because I already have the game, and it's thanks to Nintendo, and it was just a really cool feeling. He got kicked off, and he asked Kit and Krista about it, and it turns out that Krista was actually in charge of the partner program when he got kicked off, which meant we learned a lot about the partner program that, by the way, still exists somehow.
Yeah. It's run by Golden now. Golden.
Yeah. It's what we basically learned, just to give kind of a summary, because you should go watch podcasts if you want a more in-depth explanation right from the source, is that Nintendo doesn't value content creators at all. They still don't really see the value in content creators. They don't view them anywhere close to the same as normal media, even though a lot of them have much bigger reach than some of the media outlets they work with. They still don't view them on the same level. They try to view they try to treat them fairly at E3, but E3 is a completely separate thing. It's not really a partner program thing. That's Golan Harris and other people. And now Golan Harris runs the partner program, but apparently the partner program still hasn't changed. They don't really take on any new people. They still don't have that many people managing it. Kit and Krista, Krista said that at the time it was like a team of like 6 people managing 600 different content creators, which is just impossible. Wow. It's just impossible. I mean, they didn't care. They just, anyone who wanted to join the program, you join. We don't really care. You get a game, you don't get a game. We don't really know what's going on. And it seemed like it was very unorganized. And Krista tried to get it organized. She basically given an ultimatum that, hey, fix this or we're axing the program. Well, she clearly did a good job fixing it, but part of fixing it meant she had to cut a lot of content creators. And it turns out that Wood was most likely cut because he had a Breath of the Wild emulation video up. Not because she personally felt that that's a bad thing to do, but it was just because Nintendo's anti-ROM, anti-emulation policies. It was kind of one of those, hey, you didn't do this thing that's like on brand with us, so we're just going to cut ties with you. And what she said she regrets when this happened, not only with him, but with hundreds of other content creators that got cut, is that they never had a conversation with the content creator.
There was no
they didn't
explanation.
It was a very canned, horrendous email, mass sent out that explained nothing, was very rude, and it made content creators feel like they aren't even people. And she said that wasn't her decision, but she does wish they would have took the time, even though they were such a small team, to get on the phone, or at least get into a actual email and explain why they are no longer going to be in the program, and do it in a way where there's not questions anymore. Hey, what it was because of the emulation video. Now you know. Here's why. Here's Nintendo's policies on this. It's unfortunate. Maybe we can work together again in the future.
If you take it down, maybe we reevaluate your stuff.
Who knows what options might have been, but it was one of those, like, there was no communication really. Content creators were just thrown and even today, content creators still aren't like. Look, guys, I can get review copies of Nintendo games sometimes, but I get them the day of launch as well, and I'm not even in the partner program. And how did that even happen? How am I getting review copies of games at times sparingly from Nintendo without being in the partner program? Well, because this is how much the partner program doesn't matter anymore. I just went through their normal Nintendo.com website the same way I did when I used to run a website, asked for a PR contact, which gives you a contact at Golden Harris. They email you. You email them back and go, hey, can I get a copy of this game? And then they basically go, sure, on launch day. And I'm out in the partner program. In fact, you guys can know for many reasons I probably shouldn't be in the partner program. In fact, there are several bottles sitting down here that come out during live streams that could very much explain why Nintendo would never want me on the partner program, let alone the swear words and other things. So I'm not exactly that perfect image Nintendo might want. And I totally understand that. But that doesn't mean they're not willing to give review copies of games. As an example, IGN gets review copies and they swear sometimes. They have drinks occasionally on a live stream. So it's not like they're totally against it. It's just we trust established media. We don't trust content creators. They have zero trust.
Yeah, it's like a little old-fashioned train of thought where it's more, media is like, what do you call these people? I was gonna say G Fuel.
G Fuel. What? What are we talking about? G Fuel. Liquid IV. Guys.
It's
Gamer Subs and Liquid IV.
What happened?
I'm saying, why are we talking about G Fuel? We got Liquid IV and Gamer Subs. Right, that's what we're talking about.
No, right now we have Juju. Juju's the official one.
Oh, did you sign the deal? I didn't know if it was official yet.
Oh yeah, it's official. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so Juju.
I'm official.
I'm trying to sign with Juju too, but Juju isn't emailing me back yet. So.
Oh yeah.
No, we're not talking about Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju energy drink. Code I was gonna say code Juju. Code
Juju.
By the way. But
oh man.
But what was I talking about? I just completely forgot what I was saying. Never mind. Just move on.
No. It wasn't surprising to me, but it's also kind of like we're in 2022, and Kit and Krista worked at Nintendo not too long ago.
Yeah.
So like they are pretty up to date on Nintendo's thoughts on this, and while they've kicked it to Golden Harris can barely handle the amount of media they have. I already know how Golden Harris works because I've talked to their employees. When I go to request a game, they add your email to a giant list of other people who have requested it. And the list goes in order of most important to least important. And let me tell you, I'm at the least important side of that list.
Yeah.
Golden Harris does not decide how many codes they have to distribute. Nintendo doesn't even know how many people are requesting copies of the game. They just go, hey, Golden Harris, you get 100 copies. You decide how to distribute. And, like Tears of the Kingdom, there's probably going to be 3,000 people requesting a copy, and only 100 are going to go on. So you can guarantee I probably won't be one of those 100. So Nintendo, basically Kit and Krista kind of said the most frustrating time they had, because Kit, I guess, was involved with it earlier than Krista, and it's just how little Nintendo really seems to care about content creators and not really valuing. They always knew content creators were a big deal. Content creators, they straight up said it's free advertising. Why wouldn't you care about content creators that are keeping your games relevant? She's like, look at all the Breath of the Wild trick videos and everything still going on today, and it's still selling millions of copies. Those videos are getting millions of views still. Like, you don't think that helps keep your game in the forefront of people's thoughts? So some kid who gets his first Switch, who saw this cool trick video, doesn't think maybe I should pick up Breath of the Wild with my Switch. It's very much a free advertising thing. And I'm not sitting here being like, Nintendo, pay me. None of us think that. We're not saying Nintendo pay us. You don't got to pay us anything. It's just, we sort of knew back when they had the stupid program where we couldn't even put footage of games and videos for a while. And obviously now that's not a problem anymore, but it's just frustrating because this isn't like social media is not new anymore. YouTubers and Twitch streamers and TikTokers and like none of this is new anymore. This is established mediums reaching millions and millions and millions of consumers, and there's plenty of people selling thousands and thousands, if not millions, of products to consumers through content creators. Whether the content creator is being paid or not, just because the content creator enjoys something. All a content creator sometimes has to say, and this is crazy, all they have to do is be like, yeah, guys, I use a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Next thing you know, 500 of those things sell the next day because they want to have the same phone their favorite content creator has. It's insane. By the way, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I think it's the S23 Ultra, anyways. But I'm not saying that like, oh hey, like you guys are that way. Some of you guys do. Some of you guys do. Like, hey, Nate likes E-Win Racing. Maybe I'll get an E-Win Racing chair. Thank you. But it's still, it's kind of sad, expected but sad, that modern day Nintendo still doesn't really seem to understand how valuable their fans and their content creators are. And by the way, this isn't all of them. I think there's certain developers inside Nintendo that know.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. Sakurai clearly knows. You can tell just by the fact that, hey, he decided to make his own YouTube channel. He's a content creator now. He knows the value in this stuff. You can tell by you could tell that they know the Zelda fan base, and Zelda content creators are this really big deal with Zelda and keep it relevant. So that's why they're always so forthcoming with Zelda, and they always make sure if there's Zelda news, we got to have Eiji Anomo or Shigeru Miyamoto. One of the two need to be there to tell it. It can't just be can't just be the director of Tears of the Kingdom, because you're not big enough name. Sorry, man. Not yet. Maybe someday, because they just know how important certain IP are with the fan base. And I just feel like I wish Nintendo, and this isn't me wanting them to do anything special for me. I'm great with the way things are. I just wish they understood, and that we didn't have content creators get so excited about being part of a partner program that basically amounts to you're probably never getting anything, and they don't really care about you, and they're just going to drop you randomly without warning, and you'll never know why. And the only reason Wood found out why is because the person in control at the time no longer works at Nintendo. It's kind of sad if you think about it. I don't know, Mike, Eric, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know. You'd figure for a company that would, advertising is, good. You'd figure you'd want as many avenues for advertisement as possible. So
yeah,
it's not like it's not like you're paying them.
Yeah,
either. It's free advertisement.
Even look at me. I understand. I might not fit their perfect image, but my crowd is average age of 25 to 40. It's a pretty big crowd for Nintendo. Lots of us buy Nintendo games and systems. Mm-hmm. It's okay that maybe I don't fit the family-friendly image, because not everyone buying your stuff fits that image.
Right, and you're only one of, you'd be one of how many different things. I mean, the chance of, people finding you through their partner program, probably not
Yeah, I'm not going to get discovered because of Nintendo.
Right. So it's one of those things that the people that are finding you and already watching you are going to be the ones that are watching you. So, it's not like unless they have a list of, their partner programs, who's in it, and then you can go check out all their channels. But, I doubt they're going to do that. But, it's one of those things that I just don't understand why why the gaming industry, it seems to be, or at least I don't know what the hell it is, but it just feels like they're against, they kind of align with the ESA in being against content creators.
Not all of them. I mean, I got Sparks of Hope early from Ubisoft, and
but
I literally just asked.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, let me see. Oh, you're Nintendo Prime. You did the whole Prime Gaming Fest thing. Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
Thank you, Prime Gaming Fest. You got me something.
Yeah, right. But
Thanks,
it's like the ESA though. I mean, with E3 and content creators and stuff like that, it was an absolute joke with their content creation and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's kind of where I was going with that. But it's like, guys, this is free advertisement, and you can always pull the plug on any creator at any time. I just don't understand it. Yeah, if they go off and do something stupid, yeah, pull their partnership. But it's free advertisement.
Yeah, and apparently with the games, why people couldn't get review copies in time to review a game, Nintendo is so afraid of leaks. Mm-hmm. And the hilarious thing, and Kit and Krista said this themselves, all these leaks over the years
are not coming from their partners.
Never came from media or any other content creator that ever got a review copy, because they were giving review copies to content creators, and then some Pokemon Black and White 2 or something leaked. And Nintendo instantly blamed content creators, and that's when they stopped giving content creators. And it turns out that's not how it leaked. Somebody got their hands on a retail copy at a retailer that received their shipment 3 weeks early.
Yeah, stop sending out that early.
So like it had nothing to do. The content creators didn't abuse the system.
Mm-hmm.
The media didn't abuse the system. In fact, Kit and Chris, I want to say, in our time at Nintendo, there's been a lot of leaks, just even on Switch. Apps, we have ways of tracking this stuff. None of them came from media. None of them came from content creators. All of it came from retail copies getting out too early. And it's like Nintendo, though, instantly blames, what we were given review copies of content creators before, and now we have a problem. But that's not that's not actually what happened. You're not solving the problem. It was a panic move. So like, there's no trust.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I just don't. And to just drop people without any explanation or anything like that. I hate when that happens to me with like even just anything. It's like, when you don't get an explanation of being like rejected or anything like that. And that was going even back to E3 with that when we applied as the podcast. No, you just rejected. It's like no reason given to oh, sorry, you didn't meet our criteria of. Because we looked at all the criteria and it's like, well, we meet that. It wasn't like it came back and said, no, you didn't meet this criteria. We're going to, go in a different direction. No, it was just a stamp of, nope, you're done. It's like, cool. I can't correct myself to maybe put myself in a better chance to get in next time. What do you mean?
Yeah, because we applied it as a podcast because the YouTube channel requirements, we technically still don't meet. It was 100,000 subscribers. And then 50,000 views per video, which most people will tell you at 100,000 subscribers, you're not getting 50K
funny
views per video.
Because even at IGN at 17 million subscribers, 31,000, 28,000, they're not even hitting 50K per video.
Yeah, but it's so that was frustrating. But the podcast requirements were so much lower. Mm-hmm. Like you had to have so many reviews, which we had. You had to have so many listeners per episode, which we had. And you had to be available on the popular podcast platforms, which we were. We met every criteria and got rejected anyways with no explanation. And I'm not saying that Nintendo works the same way, but it kind of feels like that. Like I don't know. Like Mike, you're a content creator that, and the reality is that Nintendo working directly with us in a content creation capacity probably is unlikely. I know that for you did get approval to do some sort of con that may or may not happen next year. We'll see how that comes together. But it's still one of those, it's not like they're reaching out and offering assistance.
And it's still not directly with Nintendo. It's not like I'm working for them or they're working for me. It's just a permission to offer a convention with a theme, a theme related to Nintendo. So in reality, anybody can do it. If you want to just host your own convention, create a next something con and say this con is only dedicated to Dragon Ball Z, then Funimation can't really stop you because you are your own event planner. You're just giving a theme to a convention where fans gather and participate in activities. So basically, because of the Nintendo being in the title, of course you have to approach them, let them know, get approval, whatever, and then make sure that it's not being used for anything malicious or something that might misrepresent the company. And that's where we got the approval and everything.
I was going to say, try to plan a Pokemon Con and try to get that past Game Freak.
Oh my God, they shut down this. It was just a Pikachu fan meeting at a bar, and they shut it down.
What the heck? We got to a point where we were able to successfully incorporate the name Nintendo Con.
But that's awesome. I mean, that is fantastic.
So I actually own officially now the name Nintendo Con, so they can't really do much with that unless they want to buy me out. I'm willing to be bought out. Yeah, so a couple $1 million, you can have it. But
you can have Mike Odyssey. I'm good. Couple mil.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in regards to content creation, I mean, it is what it is. I understand they are still an old fashioned company, you know, where major corporations, they think that people that giving something to one big outlet, they might have a farther reach, or reach a lot more people than giving it to multiple content creators, which I disagree with. I think that if they focus on content creators, they have a larger reach. And not only that, but you giving this game or giving this to this corporation, you're giving it to Suits. You're not giving it to somebody that people can identify themselves with. For example, us as content creators, we have our fans, and we share our lives and our livelihoods with our fans, and they identify themselves with us, and we identify ourselves with them. You know, for example, I know Woods. He's spoken on mental health and depression and a whole bunch of other things, just like you, Nate, here on the channel. And some people speak on like me. I speak on disabilities and autism, and we're advocate for the people. We can identify with the people, and Nintendo doesn't know the power that lies behind that. When they put their trust in us as content creators, we can go further with that, you know. And I feel that it's because they're running it like a business, and it is a business, but they're running the department, the section, whatever the content creator department is. They're running it like a business rather than running it like a people thing, like reaching people, you know. And I feel like if they would focus and give content creators, multiple content creators, of course, have guidelines, because you don't want just to give a code just to anybody, because you know, or enter or the program, or maybe give a chance to this person. Hey, say, look, okay, you might not qualify now, but here are the guidelines. Can you do this for the next couple of months and come back to us and show us, and then we can invite you into the program, you know. Then, but having people and then kicking them out for I mean, there has to be a reason, but I feel like they should make that reason a little more clear before, you know, the act is committed. You know, because I'm pretty sure that even Woods, he didn't do it on purpose. He loved being part of the program. He says it himself. It was a really hard. I saw the video when he first published it, where he announced that Nintendo dropped him. He was really heartbroken. So he's been part of it, and he said that it was part of him. So I'm pretty sure that if he would have known the guidelines and they weren't so secretive with that, then he would have not done anything to jeopardize their relationship like that, you know, and kept that relationship going. But I feel like they need to be more upfront. Okay, you're part of the Nintendo program now, whatever. Here are the guidelines. Read about. You can't do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. As long as you at least you comply with this, you can do whatever you want in this section like that. We're not gonna limit your freedoms or whatever. But at least these guidelines, you know, as long as you don't break these, then there's a clearer picture of what you cannot do, and avoid getting kicked out or avoid things like this happening, you know. But I just believe it was just mismanaged. You know, it was just mismanaged. There was just not enough people. You know, it's not one employee's fault on his own or on her own. Is that they had, like you said, it was like what, 6 employees for like 600 content creators? That's insane. You know, so we had 100 content creators per person. There was no way that, you know, they could manage that many people and keep an eye on that many people and make sure that, you know, establish a relationship with that many people at one time, you know.
Right.
But I hope it gets better. I hope it improves, because I want to be part of it. I want to have that experience. It's really cool to be partner with a company that you grow up with and you admire, and you actually love so much that you open a channel to represent them and to share that love with people, you know. But I really hope they get their stuff together, so that things like this don't happen again. You know, I'm sorry for Woods and for anybody else who suffered that loss, you know, because I'm pretty sure that was a loss. That was like a blow to them, Yeah, I hope it improves. I hope they go back to the drawing board, create a really good program, and really focus and realize that us as content creators, we have more power than they think. You know, we do, because we have that connection with people that no corporation can actually have, no matter how much they try. You know.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Obviously, I never got to be one. I applied to the program multiple times. I understand, you know, lifelong. Like, the first time I went to E3 back in 2016 is the closest example I have. I mean, it felt like a dream came true. And I grew up with E3. I was there in the heyday, watching it on TV, G4, Tech TV, Spike TV, wherever it was on, TBS sometimes. You know, watching all this coverage as the internet grew, watching on the internet as well, watching the 2004 reveal of Twilight Princess, just everyone going nuts after we just got Wind Waker, like literally 6 months ago, and all of a sudden we're seeing the next Zelda game, and it's just blowing everyone's minds, and being able to go to an E3 in person was just incredible. While there was no more live press conferences to attend, I was there for the big Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
E3.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like Breath of the Wild, E3. That I was there. My first ever E3 experience. Incredible. And I had a media pass and everything. So it was awesome, and it's something that I'll always cherish because it was like a dream come true. And I feel like that's sort of like what this must have felt like for people like Wood, where hey, to have Nintendo recognize something I did and want to be a partner with me means a lot, because it's a company you love. It's a company you base your channel around. It's a company you grew up with, whether they realize it or not. It felt more personal to them than it did to Nintendo. For Nintendo, it was just a business transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So the content creator, it's like, this is Nintendo? What? I mean, this is like me being so thankful over the eWin thing, and they're paying me, so I should be thankful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nintendo didn't have to pay me, and just the idea that I can call myself an ambassador.
Hey, perfect timing.
You know,
Ewan popped in the chat.
what's up, Ewan Racing? How you guys doing? Having a good evening. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just really. I can really feel for the people who lost that. You know, it's tough.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's tough.
Yeah, and I want to say, you know what? I want to really, like, on behalf of Nintendo Prime and Mike Odyssey channel, E-Ring is right here. Everybody, so thank you so much for seeing what you saw in our channels and partnering with us. You know, it really does mean a lot. We're talking about partnerships and with content creators and how much it really does mean to us. And man, putting this chair together was an emotional moment for me. I know it was for Nate as well. You know, signing that contract with E-Ring Racing.
Well, I can say I cried.
I gotta say I did.
I don't know
did
that it
tear
was
up.
from. My body's not as young as it used to be.
Your body's
I was on the
Your body's
ground,
not
crawling
Reggie.
on my hands and knees.
Your
and I'm
body's
like,
not Reggie.
Look, this isn't the chair's fault. I'm getting old. All right.
Well, let me say, I did tear up because when I sat on my E-Ring chair, you know, knowing that this company believes in our channel and in our cause, and they trust us to spread out the message of their brand. To me that was a big moment, and I was like crazy appreciative of the company. My wife was like also all teary as well, because like, wow, you know, it's fantastic, and we're gonna represent E-Ring chairs and E-Ring racing, right? You know. So in that same spirit of talking about representation from content creators like us, who day in, day out, we put our effort, we put our hearts into our content. You know, we have days you know, we have high days, we have low days, as you've seen here, Nintendo Prime and on our channel. But everything we do, we put our hearts into it. And when we find companies who put their trust in us and they see the value that we provide the community, and they want to be a part of it, man, to us, that means the world. That means everything. And yeah, I'm grateful. I'm super grateful, and I'm pretty sure Nate and Eric over there.
My button back is very grateful. Not gonna lie.
just super grateful, super grateful.
Ditto. That's all I can say. Mike, I don't need to repeat what he just
Get right.
All right.
But as for Nintendo too, though,
Yeah.
it just kind of one other thing too is even if they let in all these people into their partnership program, it's not like they have to. And I think part of them also is, trying to think of if we let all these people into our partnership program, everybody's going to be wanting a review copy of everything. Well, yeah, that's true. They're going to be wanting it, but you can have your top X number of let's say 50 creators that you work with that get a review copy of everything, like your IGNs, your major creators, whatever like that. And then you pick just a random, 50, 100 creators, whatever, to hand out, a review copy to. You may not get every game, but you're kind of in a rotation of, you may get every fourth or fifth game, that you want to review. You could apply for it, and you may get, every fourth or fifth one that you apply for, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that might be part of one of the reasons why is that they're also hesitant with that too, is because they think all of a sudden, just because they have these partnerships now, that they're going to have to give out a review code to every one of their partners to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think even people, just if that would be like a lottery or something where they get chosen to either get a review copy or not, I think people would still be plenty happy with it, even if they are getting, fourth or fifth copy of everything, game. So I that's kind of where I also think they can, if they're worried about that, I think that is a pretty decent compromise.
Yep, good point.
Absolutely. So our last topic today is Nintendo. Look, I appreciate what Nintendo is trying to do. They're trying to stop leaks, okay? And while it's all quiet on the Western Front when it comes to rumors, right? We really, it's been over a month. It's been since the Nintendo Direct that we really had any rumors out there, right? Like, Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or Metro Prime or, the next Switch or what. Like, it's been a long time for relative to us typically having at least, 2 to 3 of them a month minimum to nothing, right?
Yeah.
But those are rumors. Leaks are leaks. Totally different. Leaks are legit information hitting the internet. Pokemon has been leaking like a faucet for many, many years. Many, many years. Scarlet and Violet in particular, leaking like crazy since summer. Apparently, some Chinese QA testers just spilled everything. Everything about the versions they were playing. Which obviously weren't final versions of the game, but had a lot of details, a lot of screenshots, a lot of images, a lot of stuff to back it up. We only covered the very beginning of it, then we just let it go. Because obviously it gets a little too deep. Too much, we'll pass on sharing it. We'll let you know it exists. If you want to find it, here's where you can go to find it. Not against the people sharing the information that aren't the direct sources like Central Leaks and other places. Hey, more power to you. Not my problem. You guys want to go check it out, check it out. But, so this has been leaking for a while. And now retail copies of the game have leaked out. Surprise, surprise. We just talked about this earlier. The leaks aren't coming from the media. They came from employees inside your own company.
Ooh, damn.
QA testers that you hired. It probably was a third-party company, but still, QA testers that you hired. And it came from people now, street dates being broken. So Nintendo decided, hey, we need to try to shut this down. Now that, all that stuff that came before that was pre-release, now we have final builds out there. We need to shut this down. So we're going to go ahead and threaten all the places that are getting leaks, that are reporting on them anyways, on the internet, that are the sources. They're not really the sources. It's other people telling them information behind the scenes. But still, the places that are sharing that information publicly. So they're not going after the YouTube channels. Like if I covered something Central Leaks put out, they're not going to come after me. They're going after Central Leaks. And they did. And they filed a bunch of cease and desist letters to a bunch of these leakers. Some of them have decided they're not going to do anything. anymore. The ones that can, the couple out of France and stuff like that say, hey, we'll stop. But Central Leaks, in particular, thought that this was hilarious because they're located somewhere in multiple areas of Latin America, which basically has no judicial system, and Nintendo can't do anything about it. It's the same reason they couldn't shut down the leaks from China, because they can't do anything about the leaks coming from China. And so Central Leaks put out there, good luck trying to go through the legal system. You're not going to get anywhere. Not even going to find us because they don't care. Their legal system doesn't care about that stuff. And two, you know, they went over some other things where like they're sending out these letters. They can't stop us. They can try. They're kind of laughing at them, and they're still leaking stuff, of course. And I find the situation interesting because I know why Nintendo's doing it. It sounds like it's the thing they should be doing, but also it's not going to stop it. And it kind of gets to the whole, maybe Nintendo's a little out of touch because you're not dealing with how the leaks are happening. You're not really going to the source. Guys, Central Leaks does not have a copy of the game. They aren't the actual source of the information. You're not dealing with the problem.
It's just a place to go for the people who actually are the sources
you're not
to actually run the league.
It's like you're not dealing. Sonic Frontiers is leaked, guys. It's all over 4chan. You can see the whole game right now. And the thing is, how did it get out? Retail copy. Again. This is where the leaks are coming. The fundamental issue is sending out retail copies weeks before games come out. And you're instead of dealing with that, instead of punishing
The retailer.
the retailers, you can download, you can see the versions. There are ways Nintendo can track where that copy of the game came from. What country, what area, maybe even down to what store. And instead of shutting that down, you go after the people that they're not even the sources anyways. What do you even stop sharing things that other people tell you because we said so? And oftentimes, cease and desist letters aren't actually legally enforceable. They're just scare tactics usually. Nintendo just kind of hopes you won't just keep doing it. They hope to get scared. So the big deal here is I kind of find it just all kind of funny. Like, I kind of feel like Nintendo just isn't going about it the right way. They try to go the legal route in so many different ways with everything they don't like. ROM websites, you know, hey, let's sue the hell out of them. People making those little devices to hack the Switch. Now, to be fair, what got them in trouble wasn't selling those little things that you can cross pins, because you don't need those to hack the Switch. They were selling games. It was... that whole executor thing was just bad. They went way over the line. But the point is that outside of very specific situations like that, where clearly they need to stop that, people are profiting off of them. It's getting to the point where it's just a reminder of how out of touch Nintendo is. We just kind of went over the partner program and how they just don't really. It's almost like Nintendo still doesn't realize how leaks are happening. It ain't the media. It ain't Central Leaks. Shut down retail copies leaking early, and you won't have this problem. And I know a solution to this, and people are going to hate this solution. But it's a blanket solution. Yeah. It'll solve this problem like that. You do not ship retail copies to stores to give to customers until, I don't know, 3 days beforehand. And if that store doesn't happen to have the physical copies the day of because they arrive a couple days late, oh well, you can always buy digital. And I hate saying that. It's stupid. You shouldn't have to wait. Eric should not have had to wait for Sparks of Hope. But the bottom line is, the problem will go away like that. It'll just be done. It'll be gone. Heck, you really want to be sticklers about it, have a digital release date that comes before the physical release date. That would really piss people off, but it also would stop game leaks like that. It would just be hard stopped in its tracks. Again, I'm not saying these are the ideal situations. Ideally, street dates aren't broken. But that happens every time. Every single time. I wouldn't be surprised if Sonic Frontiers is a ROM'd up online right now for the Switch version. and someone's playing it right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Pokemon has a ROM dump online right now. Someone's playing, are playing it right now. Like I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about this? Like, I think Nintendo's approach isn't really solving any of the problems, and the fact that now like certain league outlets are just laughing at them because like this is nothing. You can't do anything. This isn't going to stop us from sharing what people tell us. Like we're not breaking laws.
Mm-hmm.
So, good luck. What do you guys think?
Well, to me, it's kind of like, if I go to slap you in the face, right? The arm is what's causing the action here. Nintendo's coming along and just cutting off your fingers. It's like it's not going to stop me from slapping you in the face. My arm can still swing, So it's you're focusing on the wrong area. It may hurt less, maybe, but you're not taking care of the core problem. So yeah, it's just, again, Nintendo seems to be, anything with online and other things like that seems to be, again, way out of touch and way behind. So it's I don't know, it's weird.
Well, the funny thing is we learned from Kit and Krista that Nintendo is well aware. Like, there's certain employees that know what's going on. So why aren't we listening to your own employees?
Right, that too.
Like, they're not as dumb as they may look. I understand that it has to go through Nintendo of Japan and the communication barrier, and I understand all that, but it's also, man, like, all of us want to see the games, the retail copies stop leaking. We all want to see that. Like, we don't want that happening. Like, yeah, we all know ROMs are going to hit the internet after the game comes out. Fine, but at least we have the opportunity to buy the game. We can't argue we're being spoiled because the games are there. We can buy it. We can play it right now. It really, I don't know. To me, it's just, I talk so much about Nintendo and I try to say so much nice things, and we just praised them earlier for their amazing game lineups and everything they're doing during the Switch era. Even the Switch itself just being such a great device. Even like, hey, Steam Deck has a dock, and we're like, it's not really a dock though. It doesn't really work the same. It's not as convenient. It's like kind of like the Pitfall. Switch's dock is just, it's an actual dock.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's some good things with Nintendo, but then it's like when this is trying to understand the way things work in the world today. And I know Nintendo's an old school company, but like, don't they live in like the tech capital of the world?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're in Kyoto, Japan. They have the best internet in the world. They have the best technology in the world in Japan. There are countries relying on it. It basically runs off supercomputers. How do they not understand where the source of the problems are? And instead they go after the things they can't really do anything about, and they're not even the source of the information in the first place. Because, okay, cool, you get Central League's Twitter shut down. Another one's just going to pop up because they're not the ones that, the people that have the information are just going to go to somebody else. It's frustrating. What do you think, Mike?
It's a pickle. It's a pickle. I personally think that even though it appears right now they are using their lawyers a lot to speak on their behalf and sending letters and this and that. I think that behind the scenes they are probably working on something to deal with. I mean, we saw a couple of patents out there about the fact that they're putting things in place in order to prevent people from, either taking their consoles and jailbreaking them to play these kind of games, or even the games themselves. And this is, I'm guessing they haven't really implemented that all the way. And a lot of the issue, I agree with you, Nate. This is all human error. They are stores out there are actually breaking their the release date, the NDA for some games, and I do believe they should be held accountable for that, because this is how the majority of the leaks get out there. I mean, even the Nintendo Switch OLED, before it came out early. Some people had it early because of that, because some street dates were broken, and it's just something that they need to work with when it comes to stopping this from happening on, with vendors. The other way would be an old-fashioned way, which I know that hackers will try to find a way around it, but at least create a speed bump on the way to where they're going to, and it's by licensing each game individually and blocking the game with this license so that nobody can play this game unless they have that license, for this certain console. Let's say Street Days broken. Oh, I get a copy of Sonic Frontiers. The Sonic Frontiers, I opened the disc, I opened the cartridge, I put it in here. There's a license in the cartridge that I have to enter in order for me to activate that copy of the game, and then that is just attached to that, and nobody can actually play that without it. And then it can't be copied because it's one license per game. This happened back in the day, like Windows, how you activate Windows with the little codes and stuff. Something. I know it's old fashioned, but some way implement something in that manner where, at least you can slow down, because it's never gonna stop it. Because even though the Windows did have these little serial numbers to unlock their software, there are people out there who went around it anyway.
Yeah, they would just crack it. I mean, as an example, Photoshop and Premiere are two of the most cracked platforms in the world.
Exactly. So
hackers find a way.
I mean, at least it will slow it down. Not stop it, because eventually
that's why they made it a service, by the way.
I think Nintendo's gonna have more control once we unfortunately reach the digital age. And when I mean the digital age, I mean the 100% digital age. They'll have more control over.
Please say you're not talking about the metaverse.
At least, no, I'm not gonna say metaverse. I hate the metaverse. At least the leaks. When it comes to leaks, not ROMs and stuff like that. That's another elephant. But at least when it comes to the leaks, when they have full control over their releases, because right now they are giving away their control when they're shipping these boxes full of games to retailers who have the ability to just put these games on a shelf, without Nintendo telling them, hey, it's not the time yet, so they're giving away their control when they're doing that. But when Nintendo has their full control over their releases, this is when it's going to stop, until then, I think it's going to, there's no way that leaks are going to stop. And when it comes to Nintendo going after, this platform, the leaky what's the name? Leaky treats or something?
What?
The name
Lemmy Winks?
What? Leaky
tweets?
WikiLeaks? What? I don't know, dude.
You talking about WikiLeaks? Okay.
Whatever. No, I was saying like the company that Nintendo was
Central Leaks.
A letter to, and then they replied on Twitter with all that.
Yeah, it was Central
right?
Leaks. Yeah.
Yeah, those people. I don't really follow them. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I think this is all gonna continue until Nintendo has full control over their game releases. There's no way they can stop it unless.
Do you think they'll ever get full control?
What was that?
Do you think they'll ever get full control?
No.
I mean, unless they go all digital.
Even after, I mean, they'll get close to full control once we go all digital, or games arrive on the same day of release to their retailers.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I used to work at retailers. Like I worked at Best Buy. I worked at and I know there were some items that even arrived on that same day. So we were there at 3:00 in the morning, scanning everything in, because that was the release date for this certain product. And I think they did that just to avoid kind of things leaking out or whatever. Or because there was a person, let's say a company like Samsung is they have a shadow drop. They're gonna announce a new product. oh, we're shadow dropping this remote control. It's available today. Well, Best Buy already has it in the store because if it's available today, then you can pick it up today. So we had those products brought in really late overnight so that they could be ready for the next morning, and then we would scan everything in and make sure that everything is there for morning. So it's not impossible to happen. It's not impossible. But I mean that's the only way I feel like it. At least we can avoid the leaks. If the topic is leaks, that I feel like that's the way we can actually at least avoid some. But we can't ever truly
Stop
avoid leaks. There's never. I don't think it's ever. I think that is we're way too far gone.
Yeah. And but guys, I'm not talking. Obviously, we're not talking about like data mining and stuff, guys. Like if Nintendo puts out a Switch update, someone data like it's a public update they put out there. They know the data in that update's going to be mined. Like that's and that's how we found out. Like we're going to get Bluetooth headset support. Yeah, we found out about it through data mining. Like it's not. That's not really that big of a deal. And I don't think Nintendo even cares about that stuff. But the game leaks, they obviously care a lot about. And just. I mean, it's been happening for. I mean, I can't remember a Switch exclusive that didn't leak early. I can't even remember one. Once the system came out, anyways.
Yeah.
So at launch, sure. Breath of the Wild didn't leak early. Congrats. I probably did. A Wii U version probably did.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I was done with the Wii U then, so I wasn't paying attention.
They probably didn't send out a whole lot of Switch copies.
There wasn't any Wii U copies too.
Yeah, right.
No,
yeah, right. I mean, I Am 2 Ghetto kind of had an interesting thought process. Basically, break the game until day one patch. You can't really play the game until you download the day one patch, and
that's gonna make some people mad they don't have internet.
I mean, yeah.
No. Granted, I'm going to be honest with you right now. There are a lot of games, like on Xbox and PlayStation, you can't play without the day one patch.
Right.
They kind of already do that.
Right.
Switch is one of those last bastions where it's like you don't need internet to play.
No, for sure. And I get that. And I mean, the public library does have free internet, things like that. I mean, there are places that have internet for free. And I'm not saying that that's the way to go, but it is definitely an interesting thought process.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and especially in this day and age when day one updates almost seem like it's
inevitable
for every game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I don't know, man. Like I understand. It's all just coming up with different ways for Nintendo to combat a very common problem that they've had this whole generation. That obviously they want to stop going to the next generation. And I'm not even talking about like the games being playable online, like just the information in general just being out there because street dates are broken. And I don't really know what you can do about that without it harming actual consumers. Mm-hmm. And then, by the way, I'm not saying this hurts sales.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just think that I don't think there's any statistics out there that show it hurts sales, but it does. Some surprises get ruined for people unintentionally. There's a reason I don't really cover a lot of leaks of this nature. Like I'll mention they exist. That's usually about as far as I go. If I plan to talk about more, it will be clearly labeled, right? Like if there's Tears of the Kingdom leaks and I want to talk about them, it'll clearly be labeled what it is. You won't get spoiled unless you want it to be spoiled. But for the most part, a lot of people don't do that. They'll be like, guys, Zelda dies in Tears of the Kingdom. Pretty massive spoiler if that wasn't unveiled in the trailer. Mm-hmm. And they're doing it to get clicks. Mm-hmm. And it's going to work. And it's going to piss off a lot of people who trusted you not to be that person to do that. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's I think where it really comes in and hurts. So I have nothing in Central Leaks or any of these other Twitter accounts or other places that get their hands on information from people who broke street date. Because let's just be honest. Hey, they're not the problem. Mm-hmm. The problem are the retailers breaking street dates.
Right.
And doing it consistently every time. And it's all retailers. Like you can say, oh, it's just the mom and pop shops. Okay, well, I saw a copy of Sonic Frontiers in somebody's hand in a Walmart on Reddit with a receipt. That's a Walmart. That's not your little mom and pop shop. Now, I don't know what country it was in. It looked like it might have been like the Netherlands or something. But still, it's like, how do you stop that? How do you... And by the way, I know for a fact Walmart's system can't scan that game. They'll just scan a different one. And let you leave with it. So it's... Man, it's just...
There's a difference between what Xbox was going to try to do versus what I am too ghetto and then what I read. Xbox was going to require you to be online, period, to play the games. From what it was sounding like, if I remember correctly.
And Xbox Series kind of is that way. If you have a physical disc, you can still play your game without being online. Obviously, not the online modes of the game. No crap, you're not on the internet. But if you have like a single player game and you have the physical disc, you can still play your Xbox. They never did anything about that. But like a lot of people would be like, but I bought a digital copy and I own it and it's a single player game. It doesn't even need the internet.
Yeah, and it's downloaded to the system.
Yeah. But like if you can't log in to verify your account on Xbox Live, you can't play it because they can't verify you own the copy of the game.
Which is freaking weird because, again, it's downloaded to my system.
Again.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
No,
like,
I realize that.
So like their servers went down, I don't know, like 8 months ago, and people got all like panicking because they couldn't play any of their games because a lot of people have gone digital because guess what? Game installs, if we have to install the game anyways, then all the disc is just
an install package, basically.
Yeah, and it doesn't even usually have the full game anyways.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a key.
What?
Why insert a key if I have to install the game anyways?
No, for sure.
On Switch, it still makes sense with cartridges because for a lot of games, the games are all on the cartridge. You just put the cartridge in to play. You don't have to install anything. You can just play right away. But that's not how it works on these other systems. So I understand why people go digital. I mean, I have an Xbox Series S, can't even put a disc in it.
Right.
But it's interesting, because I don't know.
I think we came up. I think in this conversation we came up with a solution.
Somewhere
we already
in there.
did. And I think you said it, Nate, earlier, without realizing it, but you said it. And it comes to the fact that we have a choice on how we want to buy the game. We want to buy it digital, or we want to buy it physical, right? So all Nintendo has to do is delay the shipment to the stores and announce it, make it an announcement. If you're gonna buy the game digital, it'll Monday. If you want to buy the game physical, it'll be available for you Friday. So this will give them enough time for them to release the digital copy. It'll be out there. People will be playing it. Nobody will be spoiled. If you want the game physical, you have to wait a couple more days because the physical copy will come out in a couple more days. It just divide the release dates so that there are no physical copies out there before the street date, because by the time the physical copies ship, the game's already out.
Sure.
There's no leaks out there. People, whoever decides to buy digital is buying it digital. They're playing it, and then street date is there's no such thing as street date because one version comes out on this date, the other version comes out at a later date, and I mean within the same week. So I feel like that could be a good solution for this leak thing. Just release different days, same week. You want to buy digital? Okay,
they don't. I see what you're saying, Mike. They don't even start shipping out to the retailers until the day of release.
Yeah, about 3 days before. 3 days before, and then
no, not even before. You release your digital on Monday. You ship out that Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
So then there's absolutely you start shipping that Monday. Then there's no physical out there to.
But I mean, this is all just skirting around the problem because Because the bottom line is the solution is there is no more physical games.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
But when it comes to if you want to keep,
at least physical is still there. I'm like, yeah, but let's just be honest. If physical comes out a week, even 5 days later, than digital, you're just killing physical. You might as well just.
I mean, they have it for some games. Like I just got my copy of the Cowabunga collection You know, the digital was released way before, and then I just got my copy of
Yeah, but
Cowabunga
wasn't that
Collection.
what limited run games?
Yeah, I still want, but I was still okay with it though, because I know that okay, if I want the physical, I'll just I'll buy the physical. But if I want to play right now, I'll get the digital, and I'll get both. You know,
And there actually
but
may be plenty of people that double dip.
Sure.
oh yeah, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
that's it.
I think that path, and this is me trying to stand up for people who love physical. I think this path is dangerous, and just companies will just stop releasing physical.
I don't think it is just because they're not missing anything. They're still getting the game on the same exact day. It's just changing release dates for each. Changing release dates for each, because Nintendo always launches on Friday. Keep it on Friday for physical. Just keep it on Friday, but just change change digital. Bring it closer to Monday. Monday digital, Friday the same exact Friday, physical. And I don't think a lot of people are gonna have a problem with waiting a couple days if they want the physical copy. You know, they'll wait a couple days to get the physical copy. It's the actual release date's the Friday. But if you want, let's call it early release. On
You mean
Monday,
like what EA
you know?
does?
Yeah.
EA does that. They do this
And then
exact
you
thing we're talking about.
and then you have to have the. I'm just kidding. I was gonna say, and then you have to be signed up for the Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
Membership.
Right.
Let me be quiet, because then
They probably will. They probably will do that. You must be part of NSO to even get it early.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good feature that maybe
A good
people will-
feature.
Yeah.
That you have to
Yeah.
pay for early access for a game you still have to pay full price for. Yes.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you said that people would be fine waiting. It's one of those things that I was pissed when my freaking copy of Sparks of Hope was delayed. But if I knew that it was coming, like going into the purchase, that it was going to be late, yes, you're probably right. I probably would have bought digital,
Yeah,
but
because you already had
it's-
the expectation that you were
Right,
waiting for
right.
it on a certain date.
you're
and then
waiting
got-
for it.
Yeah,
But then
and
when
they
that gets
did.
delayed, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, that's again though. It's like, I mean, Eric kind of just mumbled it quick there. It was like, well, I would have bought digital instead. But that's the whole point. You're kind of de-incentivizing buying physical in the first place.
I mean,
not
the only reason why I bought
Because
physical is
think
because
about it. Think about it.
I like
if you're
the
somebody who believes in physical, you now have to wait longer to play a game that's already out
yeah, and I'm not
because
saying that this is-
because some bad actors get copies early, like they're being hurt. And then think about it like this: the issue is spoilers, right? For people buying physical, how is this helping them with spoilers when everyone's playing digital and spoiling the game online now everywhere?
And get
Spoilers
it
just
too.
got worse.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay, I do.
and that's just it. Get digital, which again, that's the whole idea.
stopping
then you're
physical.
stopping physical sales.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it doesn't really solve the problem. It actually
Anybody
kind of
who-
makes it worse for the
digital-
people who are waiting for physical.
It sure as hell
Yeah.
no, it stops the leaking of the game.
Well,
Exactly.
sure,
We're talking
sure.
about-
Yeah, and that's what
Technically, you
that's what
can't call it a
preventing
leak
the-
if it's officially released.
Yeah.
But now everyone avoiding spoilers, waiting for physical, just made their day worse.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
now their
but,
friends are going to spoil it to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, if we're looking for a solution to stop leaks,
It's
the
all
most-
digital. That's the
most-
solution.
yeah, if to stop leaks, and then we already determined that the leaks come from retailers breaking street date.
the copies that fell off the truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things like that, and that's it. You know, I mean,
I'll say I got my Switch OLED from a pretty shady deal,
You got one of those that fell off the truck.
but it arrived.
Digital-
Yeah.
Make the release date Wednesday instead of Monday. Wednesday for digital, Friday for physical. So that way you ship Monday and it arrives on Friday and it doesn't arrive before. And if it does arrive before, it's like a day before or a day after. And if it does leak, it leaks a day before. It doesn't leak weeks, before, or you know what I mean? So I think the dual release date for physical and digital, even if it's 3 days apart, it's a good strategy to stop leaks, to slow down leaks until we eventually. I don't think we're ever gonna say goodbye to physical unless Nintendo releases a console that's not physical at all. So, it's all digital. But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
That's where we are,
Charles,
man.
they don't give two flying craps about reselling.
Oh, about what?
Oh, Charles said
It's all digital, then right to resell.
Right to
Yeah,
resell
but they don't
disappears.
care about resale because they don't make money in resale.
Give two flying craps.
Yeah, they
about
don't make
resale.
money in resale. They don't care.
Yeah, they'll probably do something where you would have to pay them in order for you to be able to trade digital.
Here we can
games with
fix it.
somebody
That's
else.
NFT the physical.
Yeah.
That way, a percentage
So-
of the sale always goes back.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you sell it.
Yeah. So that's probably gonna happen in the
Yes.
future.
The
When physical is
moment
not.
that physical has NFTs attached, I'm done. I'll never buy a
Right.
physical game again.
Right.
Anyways, it's just a very complex situation. Obviously, the root of the problem is the retailers, and I just don't know what Nintendo can do about it. I think there is some saying that right now Nintendo sends out the games too early.
Oh yeah. No, 100%.
Like, there's no reason that retail copies of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are even at retailers right now. There's just no
Yeah.
reason.
When is that again?
I
Release
don't know,
date?
the 18th or something.
Yeah. No, it's they shouldn't
Like
be there.
they shouldn't even be out yet. They shouldn't. There should be no retailer that has it more than a week before
right.
it gets out. Like it should. It's like Sonic Frontiers leaking right now. That makes sense. The game's out in 6 days. But
Yeah.
Pokemon like it makes no sense. Why do they already have the retail copy? Like why? Why? It may. I don't understand the logic behind sending the copies out this early. But what are you gonna do? Like this is on them. It's their own problem. They didn't really create it, but they're not helping it. They're contributing to it by sending out the copies so soon. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they can send all the cease and desist they want. It's not going to do anything.
Well, I mean, and here's the other thing too. They can find and track, probably down to the store that this thing came to. Well, guess what? You're not getting the next freaking truckload of these freaking games. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's easier said than done because there's a lot of corporate paperwork you have to go through. And like when it's a Walmart, good luck because Walmart can just say, fine, you're not going to send it to there, then we're not going to carry your games anymore. And then Walmart's got a pretty big power play. We can hurt your sales too. Oh,
Yeah.
you had a new game come out? We don't even carry Switch games anymore. It's a dead platform now. Buy PlayStation and Xbox. Buy Steam Deck now.
whether they would actually do that or not.
Walmart has a power play like that. The mom and pop shops don't have any power plays. Like if they get caught up, they get caught up. But a lot of the leaks don't come from the mom and pop shops. They come from the bigger ones because they have the power to be like, no. You're gonna take it away from a whole country or a section of our stores. Well, we're just not gonna order any. Have a good day. Because we have a lot of the physical. Oh, we already know you get 30% of your physical sales come through our stores. Well, you want to lose 30% of your sales? Have a good day. They're like, we'll just reallocate it to other stores. I'm like, sure, you can do that. Who's saying that these customers are going to go to those other stores? We won't even carry Switch anymore. We'll just push PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah,
We'll find a new handheld to push. Hey, Valve. We're actually kind of interested in carrying Steam Deck in Walmart. Like, it's a dangerous game to piss off the major retail chains. So it's...
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Nintendo has power, but technically the major chain retailers hold a lot of the... Hey, is your platform going to sell? Not if we don't carry it.
yeah.
So it's a very interesting game. Again, usually it's not the mom and pop shops.
The other thing they could technically do is start suing freaking Walmart for.
Well, and by the way,
and
the
then
employees
Walmart will
aren't
start
supposed to sell
cracking
the
down
games early.
on.
And there are some managers at some Walmarts that do try to crack down on employees doing it, but I mean, hey, I know. We're gonna be putting, Sonic Frontiers on store shelves so people can just stare at it for the next few days. Well, I slipped a copy out. Come over here. We'll scan something else. You take it. Have a good day. Like how are you gonna stop high school buddy stuff? Like it's just, it is what it is.
Yep.
So you either just deal with it and accept it, or you go all digital, which is, that's gonna piss some people off. Nate loves Walmart. I don't love Walmart. I talk about it because it's like one of the world's largest retail chains.
It's everybody knows what a Walmart is, pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Like if I bring up a Kmart, I don't know if people really remember Kmart anymore.
I miss Kmart.
Shopko.
Shopko. I mean, just
Well,
a
Target.
Woolworth.
I guess Target's still a big deal in some
Woolworth, yeah.
areas. Best Buy, obviously. But like the reason I bring up Walmart is because a lot of the game retail leagues are photos of people grabbing the game at Walmart. Like a lot.
Or
of them.
Radio Shack.
Yeah, there's still a couple of them around. Toys R Us is trying to come back. Sorry though, that I use the biggest common denominator
Right,
retail outlet
right.
that everybody knows for a reference point.
So
It's
they
not that
just
I love
dropped-
Walmart, man. So I definitely don't. It's convenient sometimes, but I mean, I don't even go there that much unless it's something I just don't want to go to a specialty store for. Like,
Not too fun to watch.
and most of the stuff
Yeah.
that I want, usually doesn't even have Walmart. You go to Walmart for
Right.
oh, Walmart's got everything. No, they don't have this crap.
And I swear they have. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
The only reason I'm going to Walmart this week is because that's the only place where they have the Keebler Mario Kart cookies.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. They do have those.
Yeah.
And man, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I'll
pass
stop
on
in there
that.
for some groceries here and there. But like even then, I usually do my grocery shopping like Aldi's or Sam's Club, which is technically owned by Walmart. So you could,
Same thing.
but you're buying in bulk. So I don't know. I can't handle the prices are cheap. What do you want me to do? I'd rather shop at Costco. We don't have a Costco,
Right.
so
Yeah, I remember Sam Goody.
yeah.
Sam
And then Woodman's.
Yep.
How about Woolworth? Huh?
Love Woodman's.
Woolworth.
I don't know if you guys probably don't know about Woodman's. It's mostly just a Midwest.
No, I think it's
Nobody.
I don't think it's
It was
a whole lot of
born
Wood-
when
No,
Woolworth.
there's not a
in
lot of
Wisconsin.
Woodman's. There's not a lot of Woodman's. Is it only in Wisconsin?
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Woodman's locations.
What else?
There might be some in like Iowa and
Store directory. Here we go. No, that's just
not a
that's
whole
literally
lot
a
of
directory of how Woodman's is supposed to be laid out every store. I don't even know. Woodman's is amazing, by the way, guys.
Wisconsin, and then they're a couple down in Illinois.
Yeah.
So
Woodman's is awesome. If you guys have never been to a Woodman's and you happen to get in Wisconsin or Illinois, you should, it's got everything, man.
honestly, and they're mostly on the southeastern side of the state.
No
there
surprise.
is one in the Cross and one in Eau Claire
Well,
for
it's
the
a
western side
newer.
of the state.
It hasn't been around for very long.
Walmart or Woodman's has been in La Crosse for a long while. I mean, that was back when I started going to college. They had that down there.
Okay, a long while. Reference. When were you in college in La Crosse? How many years ago? Long while for people is like multiple decades.
I'm going on 16 years now of
Okay.
just starting college.
Yes.
Graduating from high school.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
So
not
that's-
a long time.
and it was there before I was even there. So I'm just saying. I
I
don't
know.
remember.
Let me see. When was this? Is such a weird conversation.
Yeah,
When was
right,
Woodman's-
right. As everybody's like, who the
Woodman's
fuck
has
is
been around
Woodman's?
since in Janesville, 1919.
Oh, so it's been around for
Janesville,
a while.
Wisconsin. I don't know if it was what it is now.
Well, yeah,
It's probably just like a local grocery store then.
yeah.
It's massive now too. They have 19 stores total.
There's a store called Media Play. Katie Toy
It
Store.
became as big as it is now with these mega stores that have everything in 2010.
Gotcha.
So basically, that's when people started realizing, well, Woodman's sweet. Like, they do it different than every other. Like literally, guys, look like Costco, like they're great. All these bulk stuff, you will find everything at Woodman's.
It's insane.
Everything. The only thing I can say is their deli, like their sliced meat deli, isn't the greatest, but they have everything else. And like any grocery, any fresh produce, they have everything. It's literally like you walk in there and you cannot believe a store like this can even exist. You would think all the food would just go bad, but it's always packed, and it's 24 hours, and it's employee owned, so you always feel good shopping there because the employees own the place. It's not like some mega corporation like Walmart. It's awesome. And it's been that way since apparently 2010 is when they decided to do this whole new direction with it.
Also, Walmart, I swear, has a freaking memory wipe on the goddamn door. Because I'll
memory
walk
wipe?
into fucking Walmart for one or two things, and all of a sudden I'll walk in and I'll be like, what the fuck am I here for again? And then I would come out with like 6 different things, and I get out to my car, and it's like, as I'm driving away, it's like, shit, I came for that. Well, I'm gone now. So
Yeah, Josh is like 19 stores in 100 years, not good, man. Because this isn't a mega corporation.
No,
it's employee owned, which means there isn't this person sitting at the
mom and
top.
pop shop.
This isn't this person sitting at the top making billions, expanding into a massive empire. The money is spread out to the employees. It's employee owned, so it's not. It really shouldn't ever expand into like 70 stores in 10 years. That's just not how it works. It would be a very, very slow expansion because if you've never been in a Woodman's, you will understand why the expansion is slow. To make a Woodman's profitable enough to want to build another one probably takes a long time. I'm telling you, if you've never been in a Woodman's, you have never experienced a grocery store like this.
It's crazy.
I know about Woodman's, and I still had not been to one until they built one here. And the first day I walked in, I didn't walk out until
how did we not go to Woodman's La Crosse when I was there?
Hours later, I finally walked out of the store. You want to know why? I was so overwhelmed. I had to go everywhere. I didn't know where anything was. And I looked.
I mean,
and they had everything. They had
know,
things I hadn't seen in 2 decades.
I mean, to put it this way, they probably have like 30 different kinds of mac and cheese. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah. If they don't have it, it probably doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Their soda section is the size of a massive liquor store. And that makes up a very tiny part of the actual store.
Yeah.
Their actual liquor store is like the size of most grocery stores. I kid you, it's insane. It like it's the kind of building you would think is a Costco for bulk, but it's not. And their prices aren't even bad.
I think Woodman's is only located in your area, Minneapolis.
No,
yes.
Nope,
Yeah.
it's the farthest west is La Crosse and Eau Claire, which is right next to us.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of them are southeast, eastern side of the state, and then there's a couple down in Illinois.
Couple of northern Illinois. Yeah. And they might slowly keep expanding. Another 100 years, there might be double the stores.
Yeah.
But
there's not
sweet.
East Coast, South, or even Florida or Texas or anywhere else in the country. Just that little circle there of
Yeah.
Minneapolis,
But they are
Wisconsin,
freaking awesome.
Yeah. And when I say awesome, it's not like people who eat at In-N-Out all the time and tell you it's so amazing.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's the greatest fast food restaurant ever. And then I go there and I'm like, this is shit. Have you ever had Culver's?
Right?
Do you even know this is what you call good fast food? This is trash. This is trash. Sorry to everyone who loves In-N-Out. It is trash.
Really
it is
wish.
gutter trash tier. It is Burger King level. It is garbage.
Oh, my God.
It is garbage.
What happened to Burger King? What happened to Burger King? It used to be good.
I think that was just us being kids and not caring about quality.
Really wish I could share this photo.
I don't think they ever were good.
I really, really, really wish I could share this photo.
But if you love
I'll just
In-N-Out,
tweet it out.
you need to go to the Midwest and have a Culver's meal, and then tell me how good In-N-Out is again. Remind me how good In-N-Out is after you have Culver's.
We have one called Five Guys, which is good.
Five Guys is good too. Yep, Five Guys is good too. Yep, that's a good one.
And then forgot the other one. BurgerFi, I think it is.
BurgerFi? Okay, I think I've heard of that one. I don't know if I've made that one.
It's Five Guys. It's basically the same exact kind of.
Yeah, and Five Guys is really good too.
Yeah.
I'll have you tweet out this photo, Nate, that I found of Woodman's, just the cheese section alone.
Oh my God, the cheese section, dude. By the way, you guys think I'm crazy? Woodman's went viral on Twitter like 2 weeks ago because people don't know about this store because there's so few of them. People couldn't believe. I think the cheese thing is one of the things that went viral. Someone posted the cheese section and it started going viral. Millions of what the hell is this? This is what we get out in Wisconsin. You're welcome. By the way, you think that's crazy? Here's the frozen pizza section. Here's it's insane. The frozen pizza section is as big as most grocery stores.
Yeah.
Woodman's is one of the greatest things ever, but don't ever go there unless you're planning to buy a lot. Because I don't know how you can ever walk into that store and walk out with one thing.
Yeah, right.
Like,
And then hit up a quick trip on the way there. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, quick trip on the way there. There's good old Midwest. No, it's quick trip on the way out because it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you go late night grocery shopping because you don't want to deal with crowds, right?
Yeah.
And then the only place to eat afterwards because you don't want to cook because you just wasted 2 hours shopping. You hit up Quick Trip for their late night food.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Because they're the only 24-hour gas station.
Yeah, Mike, you need to come up here and visit, and we'll take you to Woodman's and blow your mind, and then we'll take you to Quick Trip and blow your mind again, because Quick Trip is a freaking amazing gas station that has amazing food. So,
and by the way, did you know if you use the Quick Trip app, you can order food ahead of time. So even if they don't have it done for you, they will have it for you ready to go. So any food that I like this hot food. Oh, they don't have it made. Oh, they can have it made.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go to the car. Let's listen to
you
a couple.
just walk up to a person and ask them, and they'll make it for you. They're supposed to, anyways.
Yeah, I've tried. They're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not the kitchen person. Where's the kitchen person? They left. Then you're the kitchen person.
Somebody's a kitchen person here because
make me my pizza.
they're rotating it.
Yeah, put it in the oven.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll just walk
they're
up
supposed to make anything you want. People don't know that.
And then you just say, "Don't worry. I'll just walk up to my car, order it from the app, and then you're going to be making it anyways."
Then you have to make it anyways.
So go.
Yeah,
you can make it now, or you can make it now.
Like, look, I'll go in my car. I'm going to watch some Netflix. I'm going to order some food. I'll come in 10 minutes. It better be ready.
Right. No. This gas station food is.
Yeah, this is actually
top-notch.
good. This is actually good gas station. So like a lot of gas station hot food isn't very good. But their gas station hot food, not all of it, of course. They have some of their cheaper junk, but they have some good. Like their chicken's actually pretty good. Their pizza, I'm shocked how good their pizza is. It's not all the items, but they have such a wide variety, and some of it, you pay a bit more for it, but it's higher quality. Like even like taquitos. Like if you go to like any gas station, you get those little cheap taquito things for like $1.39. I don't know what it is about Quick Trip's taquitos. They're just better than all the rest. And I don't know why. They just are. Maybe it's because they actually care and throw out food when it hits its times. I have no idea.
I think they don't like put out food that they don't stand behind. Some of these gas stations
And they give out free samples.
Yeah, some of these gas stations will just buy cheap food and put it out and not really care. I really think the process behind of what they sell is actually pretty rigorous from what I've heard. That they actually will, you actually have to meet a quality standard in order for them to actually, put your food out there.
Because it is so much better than other gas station food. It's not even close. Like you get a Cenex, you get a BP. It's not even close. Like their food's disgusting. Quick Trip feels like you actually went to a legit like fast food place at least. Bare minimum. Like,
for sure.
You at least went to you get their chicken and you feel like you were at KFC. Yeah. Is that the greatest chicken ever? No, but for gas stations, that's incredible. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Right. Now I'm gonna freaking hit up the Quick Trip on the way home.
Quick Trip.
God damn it.
Gotta go to Quick Trip and go out and stop out at Woodman, see if they got any of my jalapeno pepper jack brats.
Oh yeah.
Didn't that snack?
Yeah, right.
Because after all, there is a Packer game coming up.
Yep.
But they might actually win, maybe. I'm not going to say they're going to.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? They have as much of a chance as the other team this time.
Yeah.
So we might get a win.
It is the Lily Lions, but
and they tend to blow games, but so do we this year. So you can't really say we blow it. We're always behind.
Yeah.
Watch Lions first 3 drives, touchdown.
Right.
Well, that's fun. Field goal. Oh, we're down 21-9. Cool.
Yeah,
right.
The chat is upset because we're making them hungry.
Yeah.
Haha. Sucks to be you. It's only 10:49 here.
Yeah,
I have lots of options.
Yeah, right.
I have lots of options right now. I have lots of options. If I want to get some food, I can get some good shit right now still.
Some good food? You gonna get some good food? Okay. When this voice comes out, that means it's time for the show to be over. Right? It's just the way it is. The show's over.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode, 74 of the Nintendo Prime Podcast. Ooh, we're going to be 3/4 to a hundo next week.
Yeah.
And Eric won't be here.
Nope. Sadly.
Did the Astros beat Philly again?
Yeah.
So it's
It's
tied.
2-2. Yep.
Wow. All right, good for them. I guess the Milwaukee Bucks also dominated like 26 points, 26-point victory or something. No big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal.
NBA just start.
Yes, like 2 weeks ago.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna get it. Every year I keep saying the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna have. And man,
Yeah.
I haven't watched a full season since.
Oof. Yeah, that was a beatdown. 116-91.
I haven't watched a full season. Let me tell you since when.
Giannis 32
Since
points in 30
Shaq
minutes.
were the Lakers.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a long time. That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
I love
man,
the
haven't
NBA,
watched a
so.
full season.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Go check out Mike Odyssey's channel if you haven't. It is linked down in the description. I'm sure most of you guys have, but if you haven't, go check it out. If you're interested in a new chair, be sure to check out our links for that and use Nintendo Prime for the discount code. Get 20% off. It'll stack with whatever deals they have going on right now, which apparently is Thanksgiving deals. So do that.
I
And
don't think they stack.
they told me they stack.
Yeah, I just tried it and it didn't stack.
But did you check out?
I went to the full checkout.
But like, did you actually like get to the point of paying?
Yeah, I got to the pro and where you enter the promo codes, and I entered.
I don't think y'all have that. It's supposed to
I
stack.
entered their code, code the T20 or whatever it was, and then I entered your code, and it's like, nope, you can only have one code.
Yeah, it's sad that they already have a sale on going on, so it's on top of that. So it's not like you get just 2 codes, but they already have a sale on the chairs. It's already reduced, but you can also get an additional 20% off with the code.
Gotcha.
on
You
top of
can't
that.
stack 2 codes, but they already have they have a sale going on with Thanksgiving. Okay, that could be
Yeah,
Yeah.
it. Okay.
And of course, they have a 20% code.
Yeah.
Of course, wait a second though. That's only good on 359 plus.
Yeah.
My code's good on everything on the store.
Yep.
yeah.
Just saying. Sounds like you want one of those $230 chairs, better use my code, not theirs. Code Nintendo Prime. All right, guys.
20%.
And make sure when you check out that you leave a note. Does it come with the turkey? Because they're advertising a turkey on the chair.
Oh heck yeah.
Hold on, what?
If you
want
go
that
to their
turkey.
website, they got a turkey sitting on the chair right there.
Yeah, look at it. And it's cooked, so it has
Fully
to come
cooked. It's got stuffing stuffed in it.
Yeah. Right.
Got a little vegetables around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ready to go.
That's a nice header. I'm gonna take it and put it as my YouTube header. Put my code on it.
Dude, he does this with everything. That's a nice graphic. I'm just gonna jack it and you reuse it.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use
Oh,
it.
well, like, you like the countdown from Ubisoft.
And then instead of putting, just erase.
Sorry, someone was trying to correct me. Ubisoft. You know why I call it Ubisoft? Because when Yeez Guillemot gets on stage and says it, that's what it sounds like. But I know it's because of his accent.
Ubisoft.
It sounds like Ubisoft, but I know it's Ubisoft. But like his accent, so I'm just like, hey, this is how the CEO says it, so leave me alone.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you guys have a good night. Catch you guys
Later.
next week.
Peace.
And we're offline.